Welcome. The Elite Podcast, another episode 23 in the Yankee Voice 23. You got my brother, big bro. What good? What going on?
Man, everything is love, my man. It's always a joy and pleasure to really come and just spend some time with you and my bro. Hopefully, being will get a chance to come on later. But
Yeah.
man, another episode 23, one of the most iconic number, MJ's number.
Yeah.
That number signifies greatness, and we are so honored to have the guest tonight because he signifies greatness. We're gonna blow this one out the water, Mumba. It's our love.
I love, man. I love. You know how it is, man. I saved 23 for my boy, Sarauw. I had to save 23 for him. He's the Michael Jordan. The Michael Jordan I rock. Idora Ken finest, so I had to save it for the
and you know what funny? We Complex and Idora can always have like a brotherly love because Charlotte and Central always have that kind of love in terms of they've been the main school. Everybody loves Central and Complex. Everybody loves Charlotte and Rock. And Complex and Idora can always been like the stepchild. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true.
When we see a Devil Ray come on, we don't feel like extra hype because that's like a representation of we over here in St. Croix. You know what I'm saying? So we can't wait for this one, man. I'm so proud of this young man.
Yeah, definitely.
So proud of it. No disrespect to the Caribs and the Chicken Hawks. We love you the same way. You guys too. Definitely paved the way, and you guys have definitely put you put the mark up so all we can chase. So don't feel bad that you've been great, Caribs and Chicken Hawks. You have just been so great for so long. It's just a younger child just knocking on the door, ready to kick the shit in and say, "Hey, we there." That's all it is.
Our turn now.
It is my turn now.
Yeah, man. So, big shout out to Arika. She back. She out of Facebook jail. So I'm gonna slap it up. Hopefully you stay out of jail. Next time you might be jail for life. You already got 2 strikes. 3 strikes, you done.
My siblings, they are so
gangster.
embarrassing. They're embarrassing.
That's the gangster in the family. That's the gangster. She's the Tupac of the family.
I tell you, this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, Tegan, previous episode was episode 22. We had the legendary Bonehead, Andrew Fleming.
Man, Bonehead was awesome. We keep saying a lot of these things over and over. It's getting a lot repetitive because it's like we have the same cliche. But the fact is, the whole of the VI and the Virgin Islands never really understood the type of talented players we have in the VI as a whole. St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix. Look, let me tell you, when you see a man like Bonehead, and when Pang and myself describe this man like the second coming after Keith Zoe Swanson, who's the legend of St. Croix, and the fact that, man, this talent just slipped through the crack because I know by watching him, he should have been an NBA player. Things never felt his way. But the fact that you are so great that you can just show up on a gym. Now, I want the whole Virgin Islands to understand this because we always listen to these stories, but we never get the grasp. The fact that Bonehead could show up at a scrimmage because a coach tell him just show up because he was recruiting another player, Mumba.
Yeah.
He was recruiting Jackson, not Bonehead.
Yeah, Jackson, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the fact that the coach can say, dude, just come to the scrimmage just to play because I just want to see this man play. And after he left that scrimmage and say, my God, I got to find this young man someplace to go. It just shows the type of talent Bonehead had. So that was one of the things that really moved me. I mean, Mumba, what you doing right now, you don't even know. This is so powerful right now because everybody can just go back online and just watch these stories because these are stories that are not been told. And the fact that we have done 22 and tonight is going to be 23, all we doing is just unveiling the layer of the onion, so to speak, so everybody can have an opportunity to know, damn, you know what? The Virgin Islands really had a lot of great players.
Yeah.
Where the hell we went wrong and how we can make it better for the next generation.
Yeah. I agree, man. Hey, not what I doing. What we doing. What we doing. I might have come up with the idea. But still, it's all of us. So because if you didn't say,
but I always give you the top credit. That's just number one. I know you don't Hey, and that's the humbleness and the humility about you. That's why we get along so good. You know, when you raise up a complex, you always have a family environment. We all look out for each other. And that's what it's about. You give me credit, I give you credit. We are all one. You rise, I rise. That's what it's all about. We're all about love.
You already know. That's why I always call you big bro. You know, it's a sign of respect and a sign of appreciation, you know, for everything you have done for me. And you know, when it's my episode, you know how much you motivated me and stuff like that to be the person I wanted to be. So that's, you know, and I think it's important that, especially in the VI, that, you know, fellow athletes, you know, heap praises on one another and show their appreciation for one another, you know what I'm saying, motivated them and stuff like that. You know, so that's why I always give you your flowers every single time. I don't wait until something bad happens or whatever to give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you now.
I get it for 100 though. I live in for 100. Me, you know about everybody here.
I'm going for 150, Tegan. That's why I do it.
That's what we're talking about. I get triple digits.
Yeah, man. You know, so big up to everybody who watching right now. Big up. I'm gonna get into the shout outs, you know. So 1 second. So we have
you know, you're a pro in this thing. You're becoming a pro. You have these lineups and shout out at hand. Everybody calls me. How can I get my organization? I said, look, just link Mumba.
Yeah, link me.
I represent you. You know, it's all about VI. I will weigh anything mark on VI. Okay, wait, it is.
Yeah. If anybody want me to shout them out and post the banner so people can go check out their websites or product, whatever, just hit me up, man. I'm spreading love for everybody, man. Love for everybody. That's how we do it. You know, so we got the Legends 340, legends340.com. You know, go out and support. That's my brother from Claudio Marco days, you know, Dingo, big him up, you know. We also got Savory Eats LLC, Sheena Fontaine, you know, big her up. She got food sale coming up on Saturday. This Saturday, a food sale. So if you're in the Orlando area, you know, outside Orlando, you know, hit her up. See if you could, you know, get some nice food. You know, she got some guava, chicken, some red snapper. I think she has some type of shrimp. I forget the menu, but, you know, just go out and support. We got the Good Life Apparel. You know, my boy Nato, Good Life Apparel. We also got Andrea with her at this is on Instagram at Melting Pot Cooking Class, also meltingpotcookingclass.com. We also got Cibor Caribbean Restaurant, you know, big up to our Mitra. We got Apollo Legion, big up to Apollo Legion. We also got Serenity Braids by Nikki. Follow on Instagram at Island Destiny 340. We also got Rico Canario. Hopefully, I could get him on pretty soon. He has a extensive history on you know, on VI sports and the VI culture. His dad as well was involved. You know, so you guys check out his website. It's www.lulu.com/spotlight/R Canario. You know, go out and you know, check it out. Refreshing your history and VI Sports. We also have big up to Right Way service station located in Princess next to Avis. So if you guys go, you know, you just go and support. We also got Paris Enterprise. We also got Livewire Sports. Follow Livewire Sports on Facebook. Livewire Sports, they always live every Tuesday, 7 p.m. This previous episode, which was yesterday, they had two talented young athletes, you know, male, female, you know, playing going over to play overseas. It was a beautiful episode. It was fun and it was a joy to watch, seeing the two of them, you know, conversate with each other and stuff. Big up to Shaq doing good things. Lorena as well. Big up to everybody over there.
Big shout out to, just to give a little insight on those two athletes, Romani Hansen and definitely Anita George. Hey man, I remember playing she one-on-one one time when she was in Central. Man, she hit me so hard. I didn't know a woman used to hit so hard, son. To this day, I still can't breathe, mama. Well, my God.
Still can't breathe.
She ain't easy in the post, brother. She could be a very good pro. Same thing with Romani. We wish them the best of luck. Great job, Livewire. I watched the interview today. It was an excellent watch. Good job by Shaq. Keep up the good work. And Shaq, you better remember the Elite podcast, okay? Lorena, please tell this boy it's the Elite podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, we gonna send Tegan after him. So you know.
Yeah, because I still got the #1 viewed podcast on Livewire. So Rena, let a man know the people's choice is telling you This is real. Remember our podcast, please.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Once again, follow Live Wire Sports on Facebook. Big up to Stephen Hatch. Big up to Pat. I see you in the chat.
Why
Big
he
up.
come on? He playing.
Yeah, he's scared. He's scared. We
Mhm.
got Midnight Entertainment. Big up to Frenchie, based out in Jacksonville. He got one of the hottest female artists in the whole of Florida. So you guys go out, hit him up, check him out. Midnight Entertainment. Also, we have Next Level Up Printing. Big up to Chico Harris. Next Level Up Printing. We got OlivierDesire.com. OlivierDesire.com. So check that out. Some nice, beautiful jewelry. So you guys got to support. These is everybody that's from the Virgin Islands that's doing their own business, their own thing. So you guys go out and support. A lot of people in America that I would say support black businesses. Well, support VI businesses. Support VI
right.
businesses. Definitely. And once again, the Elite Podcast, we have our YouTube channel, VI Legends, and that's at YouTube. V.I.Legends. All the previous episodes is on YouTube. So you guys could go out and check it out. If your kids, anyone who wants to do a report on a VI athlete, there is 22 and it's going to be 23 people that they could look up and write about them and learn about them, from their own island. St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John. Big up to Lynn as she represents St. John, So, Tiga, we here.
Episode 23, man. Michael Jordan number 2323. That's a powerful number. And we have a powerful guest. Mumba, a little bit. Let the people know who we got.
We have the MG of Rock City. Idora finest. My boy. We got Levron Sarauw, man. Just a quick history with me and him. I met him. We might have played against each other in Little League Star, but I remember we had a baseball team. We had some players from St. Croix and some players from St. Thomas. And we put all of us together and we went to my RBI tournament in Orlando, Florida. And the great late, rest in peace, God rest his soul, to Elmo Plaskett.
All right.
He was our coach. Actually, that was the crazy part. He was our coach, yeah. And we might have had another coach. I can't remember. My memory is bad now, but that's where I met Levron. And we kick it off, and we always been cool ever since then, man. We had a lot of fun on that Orlando trip, a lot of fun, and then and then we face each other, in school, ball and stuff like that, complex Idorake and stuff. And we always remain. I mean, we never used to talk all the time as time moved on, but we always cool. Once we see each other, it's like it's like we seen each other yesterday, man. So I got nothing but love for this brother, man. He's a good dude. Amazing athlete, not just a baseball player, but basketball player too. So he's an amazing athlete. He's a legend in my eyes, man. And I appreciate everything that he's done. He's super talented, super talented, and I just can't wait to hear his story.
Man, it's not much I can echo after what you just said. It was well done. I mean, look, obviously he came after me when I was in complex, same as you, but I definitely been following up a little bit on Virgin Islands athlete as a whole. And I know he spent some time in Venezuela. I'm very anxious to hear his time over there. And man, like you said, Ali stories, I just want to hear everything about him from day one. Where he, like you say, he was a two-sport athlete. I would like to know everything about him. I'm just going to be like a kid in a candy store tonight. It's time now for the Virgin Islands to understand the type of talent we had, not just on St. Croix and St. Thomas, but the entire Virgin Islands, because St. John's came in and represent the other day with our young lady. She did a really great job. And now the VA right now is on a rise. So without ado, Levron, let me put the face to the legend. Let me put the name to the legend. Straight out of Rock City. Come true.
Welcome.
Yeah, gentlemen. Good night. What's up?
Good night, man. What
good?
Man,
it's all about you tonight, man. It's all about you tonight, brother.
Pressure is on. MG 23. Pressure is on, my boy.
Like I said, you got the most.
I hear you talking about two sports. It's like maybe 5 sports.
5 sports? Okay, wait. Name them off for me. That would be the first question. Let me know.
I'm gonna name them off as for I guess like from best to least or most to least, baseball, volleyball, basketball, football, and soccer.
Wow.
Wow, I didn't know you play soccer. That's crazy.
You know, you
Yeah,
just
Man.
touched my spirit because that was my number one sport. You know, Mama know that, right?
Yeah, yeah, you know that.
But that was your least though, so we can really dig in too deep with that one there.
No, but we
But
got to
you
dig in
could
a
dig
little
in,
bit though.
because I don't think you could score a goal and me have a goalkeeper.
See, we got to dig in because everybody got to know. Listen, Tegan, 5 sports, man.
that's a
Come on.
lot. I have never even played spike sports. That's crazy.
That's yeah, man. So we got to
I
dig
was
in.
three
People got to
sports:
know.
basketball, soccer, and tennis. That's it.
Yeah,
I would
I
see.
ain't
really
want
try
to
to be
go
in the
to
Guinness Book of
volleyball.
World Records.
Yeah,
For real, because I guess five is the tie. And if I do swimming would have make 6, but I just decided I won't do swimming, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think me and the coach I'd get along too tough, so I just call it quits after the 5 were done.
man, that is crazy. 5 sports, possibly 6. I mean, you are a true athlete. So, how did all this thing started? When you know you wanted to play sport, what age? How did all of this thing come about?
Um, to be honest, I grew up around volleyball and softball and baseball. My father used to play baseball, softball. He also used to run the St. Thomas and John Amateur League for like years, and my mother used to play volleyball. So those two were always around. And the rest of the sports I basically learned off the streets. Like, you want to play ball, you like I was one of them kids like don't lock me in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be outside. Give me a ball. Let me run up and down, race a bike, climb a tree. Like that was my kind of thing. So sports just kind of come natural.
Man, that's awesome. What area you grew up in, St. Thomas?
Say that again.
What area did you grow up in? Where you grew up in?
I grew up in Bodo, which is basically past the airport. People that say God don't really know we exist, but one nice little neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, sometimes the hidden places where you find the talent. Did you have a lot of talented players around you? Who could you shout out in terms of inspire you them times when you were growing up?
Um, I mean, Amanda used to always make me stick with baseball. Other than my father was my next door neighbor. I mean, he in jail right now for probably another something amount of years, but he was into baseball and Nefa Peterson. And like other than my father, cause I didn't always go to like throw baseball in a park. Like I had a street outside, so I'd be throwing ball in the street basically with him or like my neighbor, nephew. You know what I'm saying? Them other dudes who used to be around. Like it was like in my time, just like your time. Like it was seasons for everything. The basketball court turned into like if a football season, there was football in the basketball court.
Yeah.
Basketball season, like basketball in the court. Baseball, you up there, and most of the dudes them just they older than you, so you want to play ball, so
That's right.
you
That's
gotta get
right.
better.
Yeah, that's
And
true. That's
did you have
true.
a favorite position when you first started? What was your first position baseball wise?
Um, Outfield, basically like I was fast. I like to run, like I tell you, like I like just like to run. So I love the outfield. Like me and ground balls, like playing first base, like nah, we my friends. Like I would run, I would do everything. By the time the ball reaching the outfield, I know it slow down. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be effective out there when it slow down or running any ball out in the gap and I had a good enough arm to like throw out some people, but that's why I like outfield. I mean kids nowadays say boring, but hey, it's fun to me.
Yeah,
Right?
outfield is a
Right.
spot, man. Outfield is a spot.
Shoot, Mama, go ahead.
So, was baseball your first sport playing?
Yeah, you could say so. I mean, pops out a ball. I had like a little machine. I will never forget it. Like you saw that one of them machines, and it's like you step on it, the ball will come from the top, pop out, and then you hit it. And
Oh,
like
okay,
that was
okay.
like up to this day, I can remember like that had to be one of my favorite toys as a kid. So baseball was the first love, and then you just grow up in a gym watching volleyball, and then people say volleyball was a girl sport, but when you watch volleyball on an elite level and like it's a complicated sport.
It
Like
is.
it's
It
a sport
is.
you can't control the ball with your hand like basketball. You can control the ball, move it around. In volleyball, it's more like it's like a quick touch. It's like soccer, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, it is. When I really had a good idea how great volleyball was is when I played a year in Brazil, and I just
Mm.
watched the girls and the boys play in Brazil. I was like, my God, this thing is way more complicated than I see on St. Croix. These men were
Yeah.
doing
Yes.
plays, low set, high set, this kind of it was crazy. I was like, what
Yeah.
the hell? I have never seen nothing like that before. So I do echo what you're saying, son. That's crazy.
That's facts.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. What I was gonna ask you. Go ahead, Mumba. I had a question.
So
Go ahead.
so let's talk about going into Little League. Who was your what Little League team you played for? And how was your first experience playing Little League? What was like your mindset going in?
My first year in Little League, I actually played 1 year PV League. Um, I guess I was just the age to play, and I just played, for fun. And the next year I was supposed to go Little League. So the draft came, and when the draft came, I was 8 years old, not knowing that however the rules stands, like I was considered a 9 year old. So when they say the age, and I know it wasn't the age, like the first thing come to my mind was tears, like, yo, I want to play ball, like I don't want to play
Yeah.
Pee Wee League no more. And then Pee Wee League at the time was T-ball basically. It wasn't like coaches throwing to players or players throwing to players. No, you know what I'm saying? So to
Yeah.
me, it was boring basically.
Mm.
So I mean, I eventually found out like 10 minutes later, like I could be in the draft. So I get drafted. I play with a team called Spurs, don't exist no more. Mr. Chesterfield, he's at EMT, was a coach. My father helped coach too. Um, I we probably lose almost every game my first year. Like I mean, win like couple, but we used to get beat. Like we used to get beat. So I mean, I didn't like losing, but it was cool because like I was giving it my all. I feel like some of my teammates were giving it their all. And for me, from the time of that age, like once you live and leave it on the field or and whatever we doing, I can live with that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, win or lose, I can live with it.
True. True.
So true.
At such a young age, how did it feel having your father, who was an athlete before you, as your coach, your mentor? Did you had a lot of pressures? What is he? Were he even tougher on you than all the rest players? Then, how was that growing up like?
I mean, he was tougher, but as far as pressures, like I was just living free basically. Like once I play a sport, like I believe in me. If I get beat like an hour or half an hour before that game, or I know I can get in trouble after that game, like that's my time to be free. Practice time, game time, that's my time to be free. But I mean, yeah, he was always hard. I mean, man, like even in the house, you know what I'm saying? He was a military man in Vietnam, so like it's just certain things you just couldn't like get away with, you know what I'm saying? You have to be on time. You have to be like responsible for your stuff, for your actions as a person. Like a story, for instance, like I went to a practice and I guess some guy asked, "Hey, where's your son's glove?" And he asked me, "How did I get it in the bag?" But no, I dig in the bag and I can't find the glove. But
Wow.
the glove that the man have ain't mine, right? But I can't find the glove. You know what I'm saying? The glove sitting in the dugout still, but the glove that the man have ain't mine. Oh, right? I guess I'm hand for that. Just like yeah, like you know what I'm saying. You think money grow on trees?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean,
Those
I
are the
didn't
tough
mind
loves.
it.
Those are the tough loves, which is
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, like I feel that's
responsibility,
what I'm
yeah.
missing nowadays. Like we want to be our kids' friends before we want to be our kids' parent. You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
you
That's so
want your
true.
child to be better than you. So even if you fell short, which and I know in life a lot of people will judge and say, well, yes, I was supposed to probably be in the majors or whatever it is, but I mean things that happen. You know what I'm saying? But that's why you have the mindset, the knowledge to try to make your offspring better than you. You know what I'm saying? Try not to make the same mistakes that you made.
True.
That's
True.
so true, man. So true.
Powerful.
That's
Powerful.
true. Yeah,
I love
indeed.
it, man.
So
Yeah.
did you feel when you like you said playing with the Spurs Little League, you guys was losing a lot, but you was giving your all and you feel like your teammates was giving their all. Did you feel like that made you a better player, playing better
I mean,
competition?
yeah, cause I mean, y'all done had Richie on this podcast, and like you said, like when you came into the league, like you knew about Twins, you knew about Rebels. I mean, you knew about Pals. Like okay, like it were three different kind of plays. Twins was more like your Yankees, swing that big bat, a lot of doubles, home runs, that kind of way. You play the Rebels, it's like you don't get like beat up on a hit parade, you know what I'm saying? They have excellent pitching, like you got Dexter on their team, you know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
then when you play Pal, it's like you playing against a major league team. They know how to hit and run, drag, bunt, like just place balls where like they know you ain't gonna be like on a hit and run like the second baseman covering. They just hitting a regular ground ball to second base and that's a first to third. So it's like I was a
Wow.
student. I was just a student about sports. Like if you beat me today, like tomorrow I want to beat you. And what you beat me with, I try and learn from your moves. I don't care if you think I'm mimicking you or whatever it is, like I can do what it takes to beat you the next day. And if I don't beat you the next day, I come in the next day and a day after that, like that was just me.
That's that competitive spirit, and you need that
Yeah.
if you want to go far in the sport. You know what I'm saying? You
So
definitely
true.
need that. So that day is love what you just said, brother.
Yeah. That's facts, man. That's true.
I was
You know,
relentless.
how much did you know Ricky? Because Ricky also played at the Hurricane, and at the time I heard he was really good in baseball and basketball at the same time. Did you know Ricky at all? He played at my time. I came like a couple years before you and Mumba.
Yeah, Ricky's the original Ghetto Jordan.
Yeah.
Original Ghetto
And
Jordan. Like
look, I'm gonna tell
I
you straight
like okay,
up.
you
They
play
say
against Fish, Tegan. You play against
yes.
Fish.
Yeah.
So for me, like I used to watch people like Fish, you know what I'm saying? Ricky, because I wasn't big, you know what I'm saying? I was of their stature. So I would always like watch how they would go about it, how they would take it on, and like Ricky was one of the best. Like you know what I'm saying, he won a basketball court, but as well as on a baseball field, like Ricky had like some of the best eyes, like eagle eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like we were in a tournament. Terry came over my 11th grade year, and Terry was trained probably about 93, 94, 95, somewhere in that area. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Mid 90s, high 90s. And the first pitch out here is hand like bow. Like, oh my goodness, you know what I'm saying? And Ricky will leave off. The next pitch out of his hand, like Ricky line it right back after him. But I mean, we all know Terry was a man child, so Terry catch the ball, watch him, and just like it was nothing. But like he
But
was the
you know,
best.
he was ready.
Yeah,
I,
Ricky was
I
the best. I mean, playing shots up. Like when I was pitching, like if a ball hit in the range or I feel Ricky could get, I know it's a out. Like I know for sure it's a out. I ain't gotta worry. I don't have to wonder. Like I know it's a out. Don't let 'em know.
I ain't gonna lie to you, and not to just move course. I just want to show the Virgin Island type of talent because you also play dual sport. Even though I made it professionally, I always tell people, like you said, I used to play against Fish. Fish was good, but the player that I dread playing the most was actually Ricky. Ricky was just something. I love playing him because of the competition, but I hated playing him because I just couldn't figure him out. He was just so calm. He had vision, like you say. He could do everything on the basketball court. And when they told me this man was actually better in baseball, I was like, no way.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
That's unbelievable.
And he would always tell you like the first time I met him through basketball, and then I started to play because in Udorican, I went to Udorican really because they only had softball in school, so I just went Udorican for whatever. But then I just ended up falling in love and staying in Udorican. But the first time I hear about him, like I heard about him in Little League, but I didn't get to see him personally. You know what I'm saying? Went to school, met this guy, see him playing basketball, and then baseball season comes around. And I asked him like, when is the last time you play? And it had been about like 2 or 3 years since we could touch a ball. But you wouldn't believe it. Like just coming on the field, like he was the best thing we had, and
Naturally
I was good,
talented.
and he was the best thing that we had. Like I couldn't believe it, and like you said, he was just calm. Like he'll do it like it's nothing. Come back and just like tell you like just calm and collective.
Like
No
regular.
energy, just nothing. And you watching it like it's such an amazing play. Like how you know how to do that. Like what made you think that? And Ricky just like calmly telling you, I done seen him do this already, and I had a feeling. And
Yeah.
when he do this, and bam, it was gone. Like
It's
cool.
it's crazy. It's crazy. You said something really powerful a while ago. And Mumba said it earlier in a couple of our podcasts. I think probably with Richie. You guys, I know at St. Croix, Mumba, you said you guys didn't have like baseball league in the school. Did you guys
Oh,
have that in St. Thomas?
Well,
when we got the complex.
actually, I'm gonna tell you a story, right? When we I went to Mola school after transferring from a private school. So in probably fourth or fifth grade, I think they had softball. So I played 1 year, you know, and then probably the next year, fifth or sixth grade, they basically just banned all little leaguers from playing softball. So we had nothing
Wow.
to do,
But
basically,
why was
and
that?
as
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I
What
don't know why.
happened?
I mean, as far as I knew, like outside leagues were more competitive at that age at the time. The
Yeah.
9 to 12, which was little league. Like we had so many games. We used to play like maybe like 20 something games in the season, and then you have like another set of playoffs just to get like a champion. So you could win the league, but then it's the championship to the end of the league. And then you had like senior league, which you had like five, six teams or something like that. Decent competition, um, a good amount of games, but everything was, I guess, softball in school. So I was gonna go shout out. I really actually wanted to go away, and I just said, man, if I ain't gonna have nothing, I basically know a lot of people in town or whatever. Let me just go, I can and just chill out for a year and disappear and go play baseball in the States. But ended up having baseball, and we didn't have the best team. Like our team in the East was put together players, basically, like guys who been playing 4 or 5 years. Some been playing since Little League. So we took some blows the first couple of years, but it got better. You know what I'm saying?
I was trying to figure that out why they didn't have the leads. So can I pick a little?
You got asked
Can I
whoever was
pick?
directing it back in those days.
Yeah. Can I pick a little fight between you and Mumba a little bit? Because tonight, this is what I've been dreaming about when I saw this matchup. Since you guys played against each other, and this is probably the first time we have two sports superstar in two sport. How did it feel like going up against Complex with Mumbai? Wait, first of all, did you guys play against each other baseball wise?
Yeah,
We didn't
maybe
play
little league,
baseball
but
because of I didn't go to Shad Mali High School. Shad Mali was the better team, so they traveled. I
Oh,
begged
so they
them a
played
year to go with them and play with them,
yeah.
but I was a rival, so they didn't want to feel like because of me they win anything or whatever it is. I'm guessing, so nah, they wasn't given the opportunity to come and play against him in baseball, but I had the opportunity to play against him in basketball. Like I
Did you
said,
come
I
over in
just
little league
huh?
with Rock? Did you play on any Rock All Star teams? Baseball, little league.
Yeah, you have play with. Let me see. I think you're a year ahead of me. So if you have played a year with Maki, then when we have come over with Court and Raheem, yeah, I play on the
Yeah,
All-Star team.
in Paulie
We had a
Joseph
beat
Stadium.
in a few games. Yeah. That was classic
Uh,
series though.
okay. So
That was
wait, don't say
we
that,
classic.
Mumba. Don't say
that's a
that.
crazy series.
Don't say
That's
nothing.
crazy.
So, because here's my question now, because we have a pitcher and we have a superstar outfielder. So I want to know how was this matchup like? Come, somebody
And
tell me.
I
I
never
at the
pitched
time
against
when I was
Sarah.
11, I wasn't really like I used to play because this guy who was in center field used to pitch, and I was probably the next best outfielder that they had. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was probably the next best outfielder that they had. So I used to play when he didn't play. And in those times you didn't have to players didn't have to play. So I would sit out one full game and then play another full
Okay.
game. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
So it's a classic
um
matchup between future pros,
like
man.
really
Oh
and truly
God,
the
that's what
classic
I'm
matchup
looking
was
for.
your friend Tegan.
So that
Raheem was a monster in that tournament piece.
Yeah.
Raheem is a monster, and Raheem
Yeah,
was
he
really good.
basically take
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
And
Raheem.
didn't.
Maki, who's my cousin, he dominated us the first game. Like
Yeah.
he light out us. Like we were in the back. We basically were in the back stamping battle caps. Because in I think we're Parley Joseph we playing.
Yeah, we were
And in
Paulie
the
Joseph.
dugout
Yeah.
they have like the showers, whatever it is behind your dugout.
Yeah.
Man, we were back there beating battle caps and just throwing them to each other because he had pitches moving and we never see. So we were
Wow.
trying to
Okay,
hit
yeah.
battle caps literally. So we were just basically adjusting like during the tournament.
Yeah.
So
The
you just drop a gem because I didn't even know Raheem played baseball too.
yeah.
Man,
Them
Raheem was the real deal. Like I
yeah.
grew up like he was like an idol of mine in Little League. Small, dominant, hell of a curveball. Could have pitched
Super
decent and
smart.
stuff. And like
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like
Yeah,
yeah, I was
Super
the
that's one of
face
the
smart.
of the game. You know what I'm
smartest
saying?
person I ever met in my entire life in the whole Virgin Islands, Raheem. I'm not tooting his hand. I actually went with CB and I played with this man, and I felt bad for Raheem because when he was playing with Charlotte, Charlotte used to send away all of their great players like Boo Boo and Jabari Brown and Jerome Gums. So he never
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
like Raheem never really had that monster team like a complex and a Duracan. So we kind of used to beat up on him. But man, take nothing
Yeah.
away from that dude. That dude is one of the smartest players I ever see in my life. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I rate him so
Facts.
high. Today, to this day, me and Raheem is like really, really good friends. We call each other. He comes say, "Boy, we chill." That's one of the smartest dude I ever met, brother. And I know if he wanted to pursue basketball, he could have played internationally if he wanted. You know, that dude was a super intelligent member.
No, yeah, he was listen, the guy was a beast in Little League, man. He was a beast in baseball.
I did not know he played baseball. I about to call him because to my
they,
own
Yeah,
self, I
man. Like
call this
he
man.
was really
yeah,
good.
like
He was
like
really
like what
good.
Lorena just said, the call ball artist. Like that team that we played, Lavon and Raheem and stuff, that team was a crazy team. Like we could have never faced each other because I never pitched in the league. I was a catcher. So when he gave me talking about Makil,
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
was
okay.
I was the catcher and stuff like that. I don't know if you remember how they win the series.
How that happen?
You gotta
I don't
ask
know if you
Raheem.
remember.
Raheem don't remember stats like that, Mister.
Maki were pitching, and then he had a
Yeah, and he
runner on
come out
tall
like hand
base.
was hurting him.
Yeah, and he tried to call ball. And you remember in Polly Joseph Stadium, they used to bring the fence in, so they had like those artificial plate.
Oh
So
yeah,
it
and the
had like a
ball
little
bouncing
hump.
over the fence.
Ball bounced over the fence. Maki was pitching, and he tried to call ball. It bounced over. It hit the plate in front of the plate, and it bounced over the fence. And they beat us 1-0, Tegan. That was the score,
Yeah, man.
1-0, bottom of the
That-
sixth inning.
That's a classic.
That was
Yeah.
a classic series. Like that was nail biter.
And they went to I think I went Panama. Panama, I think it was
Yeah,
Panama. I was
Panama.
supposed to Panama.
Panama was an experience. Like Panama a different experience.
Yeah,
Let
crazy.
me ask both of us something. This is very interesting to me because it happened in basketball a lot since both of us is dual athletes. Actually, Lev is like 5 dual athletes. We can't even compete with him. That's his talent. But
Yeah.
one of the things that always kill me, even now as a coach, as complex, I always hate this mentality that referee is cheating because we know as a professional level, this referee thing and we blaming each other. This is the reason why we lose. This is the reason why we lose. That thing don't fly at the professional level at all. It's about what you do and how you can control your emotion. When you guys were playing, do they cheat in baseball? Because I can't tell. As a man who don't know nothing, please tell me. Please, just be honest. They cheated in baseball because I can't tell.
I mean, as far as I'm gonna play every sport, like I just listed. I have been robbed in sports before in everyone. Like, I mean, I've seen it. I mean, you try your best to deal with the emotions, and I know that you know who the coach Tegan. You understand it to a point because I have coached and I have had people take their own personal things into being against me as a coach, and you just have to let her fly over your head as a coach. And
Yes.
sometimes you have to, like, as you would do, like, take a technical for your team to inspire them to step up the game so that it wouldn't have to be in the hands of the referee or the umpire or the
Exactly.
official. You know what
And
I'm
that's what
saying?
a coach is to do. That's what a coach is
Yeah.
responsibility.
But
We're
but
supposed
as
to be
an
the one who
athlete,
get a
when
check, not
you're
them.
in the heat of the moment, like, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, sometimes it does get the better of you. But I could probably say maybe once or twice, couple of times that it has get better than me. I've been thrown out of games before, but all of those were experiences. I've been team captains, and you have to trust somebody for them to be a captain. They gotta be able to be your voice. They gotta be able to be your backbone. And I had good coaches, and my coaches were, I won't say ruthless, but they were about the love of the game. Like they were about nobody being above the game. So anybody who play ball with me, Mumba could tell you, I fly from St. Thomas to come St. Croix to play on this team with him, and he could never say like I went in practice and I wasn't dedicated. Like first time, like Mumba threw against me, I had a good basis or something off of him, but he had the respect that I had for him. 'Cause I didn't know he could throw the ball. I had,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and he didn't realize that they had somebody who actually catch up to him. So, but it was just a competitive nature. If I come and I say I'm gonna be on your team, I gonna play with you. I don't care what sport it is. You gonna get 150% from me. I gonna come and I gonna practice. Even if we don't practice, I gonna give you my own. I gonna work out on my own just to make sure that you have all of me.
But that mentality is
Great.
what it takes. That mentality, a lot of the younger players in all sports don't understand. That's the mentality you need to get to the next level. We are so caught up in terms of what everybody else doing to we are, what they ain't doing to we. We don't understand the mentality have to start with you first. If you don't have that strong mentality and believe in your own self that you can do it, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, everybody can see you have talent and all these things. The Virgin Islands have a lot of talent. We have a lot of talented players. But unless you go out there and really believe in yourself and put out that kind of work ethic like you just described, you don't have no shot. I mean, you really don't.
That's
You know?
true. That's true. And you know
That's
what's
just like
crazy?
if you sit
Oh, go
down
ahead.
like and you talk to your friends, right? Or you just on the street and you pull up on somebody and some of them will be like, oh, you know, I was better than you and this and that. And it could have been true that yeah, you were better
Mm,
than me at the time. But like you say, it take a certain want, a certain discipline,
yes.
a certain love and a hunger for real. Because like Kalex, for example, like Kalex, it make me so proud, you know, because like Kalex was a good ball player. I think like he was one of the best when we were growing up, and I used to always consider myself probably I say a step ahead of him, you know. But Kalex had the work ethic. Kalex stuck with it. Kalex had what we didn't have. If you understand what I'm saying, there's just the mental fortitude to just stick with it, stay there, and he didn't play the Waller games in the majors, but right now he's a coach for the Texas Rangers, you know. So it's
Yeah.
proud that we have a map
Son,
someplace.
perseverance. He stuck with it. He stuck
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, that's
So let
true.
me ask you, now that you really started to get into your game, when did you realize like, man, I can make this thing my career? What age? You probably were playing senior league. What was that like? When you realized like, you know what? I'm gonna do this here for a little bit.
Um, I always wanted to play baseball. My team were the Atlanta Braves, that Tom Glavine, and this is before Maddox. So I've been a fan before Maddox got there.
Wow.
So that was Tom Avin, Kent Walker, Steve Avery,
Steve Avery,
Blowzak Short,
Jeff
Terry
Blauser.
Pendleton,
That's my
Torby, and
guy.
even then Terry Pendleton they reach as of yet before. Like, so I've been like a fan of like baseball like long, and I just picked the Braves because the underdog, you know, really and truly, like everybody for the Yankees, and then TBS is what I used to see. Like I used to watch whatever cartoons, and
Yeah.
then I watching Atlanta Braves. So win, lose or draw, but they had such a good pitching staff, and some of them were lefties, and it just it just gave me the interest to just love baseball. Like baseball was always my love. You know, I loved volleyball too. You could say I love volleyball because I actually played for the junior national team here for the Virgin Islands and the national team for St. Kitts already. So you could say I did love those, but I wanted to be a baseball player. Like and that was just I just loved that. I didn't know what position, whatever, but I'd say maybe at the age of 14, I realized that God gave me a gift. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reality of it. Like most of us who are top athletes, like it had a point in there that you realize like God gave me a gift. I am a step above these other people, like so I could see things like for instance baseball. I'll pick up rotations of balls. So I know from jump, fastball, curveball, change up, where you gonna end up.
Yeah.
You know, mentalness as far as being tough, thinking the game. You know, my father used to tell me lift weights and stuff like that. But I ain't gonna lie, I used to pay ass around that. Like, lift weights for what? Like, I running up and down, like throwing stones, I doing that.
Alawi,
Like,
Alawi, don't be mad. I didn't touch a weight until I got Jacksonville University. Don't be
yeah,
mad.
you know, so yeah, I didn't know nothing about no weights. You know, it's always about you just run up and down, going to practice, getting strong every time you run. And at the time, you didn't realize the running was making you so strong. Because in baseball, I don't know how it is. I shouldn't say I don't know how it is in basketball. I know for sure. I play ball. You don't have no legs. Your jump shot dead. Even on
Yes,
the free
you're
throw
right.
line, you dead. So in baseball, it's the same thing. You don't have your legs. Like that's the foundation to any sport, basically. Soccer, baseball, whatever. You don't have no legs, you dead. Your body
That's
does not
right.
function with the lower half, without the lower half.
That's true.
So I say maybe 14, 15. I probably realized like I have talent, you know. But it was still iffy, you know, because I started playing double A, which was a man league at like 14 years old. So I was still on the bench playing a little here and there. I was doing my thing, but I didn't know if I could hang with the big boys yet until I was full-fledged 15 years old.
Man, I mean, I proud of you. Trust me, I ready to clap, Sarabak. Because look, I didn't realize that I want to play basketball until Pang leave complex, brother. He was just taking all of my shine. I couldn't I couldn't shine at all until this man leave complex. And as soon as this man leave, my head went like from this to this, like I is the man now.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Man, I witness it every day in practice. So trust me, I
Man,
witness it.
I don't know what this dude talking about. He was always the man. I don't know what he talking about.
Pang was just
Nah, I
scrunting
mean,
everything for me. I
Pang,
couldn't get
I
no
witnessed
shine.
it for myself. So I was just telling them all yeah, like I watch y'all play when I was in like 7 or 8 grade when my mother transferred to you. I reckon when y'all were playing like against like Imbot and Como and Benedict and all of them. Like I watch them games. I come over, I travel to Sinclair and watch y'all playing them tournament and I thought the 2 hours were just goons. Like I didn't understand that basketball could have been played in high school at like this level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that boy with Alec Beard was good. I ain't gonna lie. He was one
He
of my
was
favorite players.
he was he was okay. He was okay. He was
He
okay.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
I,
Mumbai. I was all right. I was
He
all
was
right.
okay.
but I couldn't I couldn't laugh. I couldn't wait for this man to leave so I could get a
No, man, Pang is our goat, man. Pang is our goat. He's our goat. He's our goat.
Oh man.
Welcome, Pang. Welcome.
Yeah, man. Blessings, fellas. Sorry I'm late, and I can't even stay long. You know what I mean? I just had a little time, but I just wanted to show my face and just here get a little knowledge, a little wisdom. I take in these interviews as gain wisdom because it's a blessing to hear some of the stories and some of the things that we are here. So, I
Yeah,
just wanted to check in for a little bit. But even though I ain't here, I still watching because this is part of my life now. So I got to
yeah.
always tune in.
You got any questions for Sarauw? Any questions?
No, not right now. I gonna just feed
All right.
off you and you know, I just heard your story in the beginning, so so for right now I gonna just feed off of them, man, and as I listen to you more, questions gonna come, but right now I just gonna be listening.
Well,
No,
we
no
glad
problem.
to
I got a lot
we
of
glad you
questions.
check in. We glad you check in, man.
I have
We
a question,
appreciate
man,
it.
when it comes to
Glad you
this
honor
podcast.
us with your
I,
presence.
Yeah, man.
I like the hard question, so let me jump in.
Go ahead,
Like
Tiga. Go ahead.
when okay, so we talk about now you're starting to come into your own, you're starting to realize you can do this thing in terms of professional. When did that first I don't even know what to call it in baseball, Mumba. Like somebody came and said, "Man, this scout watching you." I don't. It's different in basketball. Basketball, you have an agent coming and said, "Man, you can play pro." When did that first person come and tell you, "We watching you. Keep doing what you're doing." Like when did that hit you? Because obviously somebody had to come and tell you, "Hey, Dodgers are somebody watching you."
I mean, I think we were cost. because most of the scouts really and truly used to go to St. Croix. Um, that's how McHale gets signed. Most of those guys from St. Thomas were getting signed. So we really didn't have like scouts per se, coming to see us at the time. The first time I actually knew about a scout, 15 years old or 14, and they clocked me on a gunner, probably throwing about 72, 73 miles an hour. I was spot the stature. So it was just like nothing to me. I didn't really look at it as anything. And I guess some of the tournaments you step to, like the RBI tournament, um, maybe a college or two. I've had like Oakland A's step to me before, but I didn't really understand the whole process at the time. I didn't understand how to say I want to showcase myself. Like a lot of stuff that was just like not even new to me. There was just like stuff that I really didn't know about, and I ain't gonna say I didn't take it serious, but I just didn't understand how to go about it. You know, I really wanted to be, I say maybe in the States playing some ball because like in the States you go to a school, you get some acknowledgement. Some of the schools even start scouting you from 7th and 8th grade,
Yes.
as far as
That's true.
they have like stat sheets and stuff, your different velocity, how it's grown. Because from 14 to 15, I went from throwing, say 72, 73 to probably about 82, 83. And then probably to
Wow.
the end of my career, I probably topped out at maybe like 90, 92, 94 miles an hour, somewhere around that area. So I had growth, but like it's a process. And baseball is a different process to basketball. Basketball is,
Mhm.
yeah, you go school, you go to another school. It could be a junior college or something like that, and then it's like you try and test the draft. In baseball, there's so many levels to it. It's like you peeling an onion. You go into a junior college, maybe if you have that kind of talent. Most of the real players go to junior colleges to test the draft after a year or 2 years. Because if you go to a
Yeah.
4-year college, you can't test the draft until you're either in your junior year or
Junior.
21 years
Junior
of
year.
age. So
Yeah.
like it's so much, and then after that you might get drafted. You might get drafted maybe in like triple digits, but you still gotta go through single A ball and double A ball and injuries and a whole season. So you might sign in 95 and don't play your first game probably until like 98, 99.
That's crazy.
As far as
It's
you being
true.
in the major,
How was your journey
So
like? What did your journey take? Tell me about your journey. Let the VI know what journey you took.
well, the journey that I took was I was playing ball in high school. I really know I wanted to play ball. I didn't know where we're going, what we're gonna do. Like it was up in the air for months, and then to the end of baseball season, I missed the last game. We ended up winning the championship my senior year. So we went to play some team, and my team didn't show up, whatever, because I didn't show up because I had to go to a showcase. So I went to a showcase and played really well in the showcase. Um, School followed up, and I eventually got a scholarship to Manatee Community College.
Mm.
So didn't know where I was going, what we're doing. Manatee is basically I was in the middle of nowhere as far as I was
I,
concerned.
I I was just about to
Retirement
say that
town.
that sound like a school that they in the, in the middle of a swamp or something.
Where's that? What state is that? Manatee.
It's actually I'd say it's probably like 45 minutes from Ybor City, Tampa. Because if
Mm.
you wanted
Yeah,
Yeah.
to party, that's where you would go, Ybor City. You would leave however you would, get Ybor City, and in those times, however you get back, you know, really didn't care. So started playing ball up there, and it was rough. Like I used to walk out and think, hey, but I didn't really understand the concept of walking out and running until I got to college. Like um,
That's facts.
there was one day we had to do like I say a mile around the baseball field, but your mile had to be backwards. There was no running. I mean, you could run a mile forwards and you'd be good, but running a mile backwards is no joke.
That's crazy. I've
Absolutely
never
no
done that in
joke.
my life.
Never.
Yeah, so I mean, it was different walkout drills. I mean, it wasn't nothing that I didn't feel like I would get through. Yeah, I got stronger. Um, I ended up the school allowed me to go both ways, and when I say both ways, I mean I could pitch and I could play the outfield. So
Oh,
I was
nice.
vying for. I mean, outfield would be hard because they had like some guys who tested the draft already, and I didn't think they were out of my league. I was playing just as good as them. Batting average throughout the foul ball was probably better than theirs. Extra bases better than theirs, but due to the tightness of the program or what it was, I didn't realize it at the time. But that's the first time I knew about like friends of the program.
Mm.
So I went to college, doing my schoolwork. I said that was probably the first time in my life, like I was just really actually going to school and doing schoolwork. You know, like I throughout high school, I would do the bare minimum to pass, just because um, that's all you needed to play ball. You know, a 70
Yeah,
average. You know,
you're
nobody.
right.
Don't get me
All of
wrong.
it.
My mother used to demand the most of me. I mean, the most. So I ain't like I was getting away with it, but I just used to figure out a way. I guess used to keep it high enough that she would be happy.
And
You
that's
know,
I
that's a
so
disclaimer my tongue don't know about me. I used to do the same thing in complex because I
yeah,
hated school. I'm sorry to say, but I just wanted to
it's
play
the truth.
fast, and I used to
That's
just do
all.
enough
That's all I
just to
thought
make
about.
sure I far away from the cutting list.
right.
But I was such a brain. If I really wanted to be like a super A student, I could have been. But I just wanted to play ball. I didn't really know all of these sine times cosine equal tangent and all these things mean to me. I
I
just
mean, I
wanted
was
to
so
just
good
pass
at
the test
math
and go my
science. I
way.
was real good. I was real
Yeah.
good in school. You know, like it came to the point like in ninth grade, right? You needed a 70 to pass. So ninth grade English, I got a 65. The next semester, I probably get like a 60. And my mother was assistant principal in school, and I guess she didn't see it or she didn't catch on what was going on until like it came to her like knowledge, like just before exams. So yeah, I get some blows. She bust my mouth and everything. I basically needed 92 or something like that in the exam to pass the class on a bare 70. I think I ended up getting like a 96 or a 97. Show it to her. I come up to the office like, yeah, we're proud, you know. I get my behind, but
I,
beat again,
I
man.
ain't
I
even
said,
laughing
man,
after you right now. I
you could
just
probably die.
laugh. I ain't even laughing after you. I just see something a pang pull up and I just have to laugh. I'm sorry. Pang say he loves school. Pang ain't love no type of school.
Yeah, man.
Pang,
So I
stop
mean,
it.
Hey, I
so
am not
And
college
so my
sure.
wise,
sister, yes,
I
I
played.
did graduate with honors, but I used to just do. I look. I honestly used to just do what I do just to pass high, high enough so I can just play. But I never really put 1,000% into it until I get to college. College is when I put 1,000% into it because then you had study hall, you had practice, you had to wake up at 5 o'clock, you had to lift at 7, you had to eat, you had study hall, you had individual workout. It was just too much. So you say, you know what? I'm just gonna get all A's so I can skip study hall, so I can get 3 hours extra sleep. That's when I put in all I got into grades. Real time. I
You
didn't
know,
do that in high school.
one thing I realized with school too, getting good grades and taking your SATs, it'll help you when you get to college. Like, if you didn't get good grades in the SAT, most schools they either won't take you because you don't get the SAT. At least for athletics part, you could probably still go to the school, but you can't play a sport, right? Until you do like a year in the school or something. But at least for athletics, you gotta take your SATs or ACTs, and you gotta graduate like at a certain level in your class. And we don't know how important that is, like when we in that position. So I just want to put that out there because I didn't learn that until I got to school. When I in the office, trying to do my like trying to talk to the people them to see if I could play basketball. And they asking me all these questions and like so what rank you graduate out your class and what was your SAT scores, and I didn't have none of that.
Yeah.
I didn't take the SAT. Well, I took the SAT, but I didn't take it serious. So I don't even know if I ever even got my results, like where my results ended up or anything like that. Yeah, so that's
And you love school, fam. I knew. Oh,
I
hey, but
love
I think
I
it's
love
super
school when I got to college because I did used to go to class. But like once I got to college,
You
it
have
was
to
a
go to
wrap.
class. You have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
go
it
to
was a wrap.
class.
I had
you
to go
have
to
to.
class.
You have to.
Yeah, I learned the hard way because I ended up going Manatee, so we had like I guess a falling out or whatever, and I transferred to Florida A&M University. And
Fam,
Oh,
upon
you.
arrival,
Good
all I
school.
cared, all I cared about was ball. Like I would go to practice, 2 a days, run, everything, and I would barely go to class. Like barely go to class. And then when season come around, academic suspension, can't play ball. Like that feels so like I don't know. Like I was sick for like a week. Like literally, like I think I was like poisoned for a week, knowing that you just can't play ball. You seen these dudes traveling and it hot. So the next year, pick up my grades and started playing ball. Had a good season going on. And to the end of the year, like my shoulder just went dead, totally dead. End up taking like an MRI, finding out they were like a rotator cuff tear. Didn't have the
Oof.
same velocity, but I didn't
Wow.
realize like that the talent I had outside of pitching, because like Mumba could tell you we went on a trip. I think Mumba won this trip too. We went Venezuela. You went on a Venezuelan trip too, Mumba?
Oh no, no. I didn't go to, I didn't make that
Okay,
trip.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But
I
we
think
went
you
on
are
a
like
trip to
Rudolph
Venezuela.
Rudolph Simmons.
Yeah, Rudolph won that trip with me. We went to
Yeah.
Venezuela, right? And like I think my first six at bats, I had six strikeouts. Kevin King won that trip with me. He was coaching Kevin King
Kevin King, yeah.
and Kai Shang were our coaches. So I wrap up. I asked all my teammates straight up, whatever sacks you have, mark and them is yours, and ball them up for me. And me and Kevin King upstairs on like the sixth or seventh floor, hitting soft tasks inside our apartment building, or whatever it is, where we were staying in some complex against a glass door. Bam, bam, like for hours and nights, after those two like strikeouts,
Wow.
After that, I was like, no man, I know I could do better than this. Next game, had a home run. We come back to a park in Venezuela now, realizing like we in a big stadium, and not realizing that they televise the games in Venezuela in this big stadium. So I think part of playing Venezuela, and I had like maybe I had a good game, and I think I hit a home run after that ace in that game. And we beat them. So coming outside now, this kid basically asked me like, I could have your T-shirt. I was like, yeah, no problem. But he's trying to trade me my T-shirt for a book of baseball cards. And when I tell you like a book of baseball cards, we talking like Roberto Clemente, he had like
That's
Satchel Paige,
crazy.
Hank
Wow.
Aaron, Willie Mays. Like he got like some classics in this
Legendary.
thing. And he wants to trade like this thing for my T-shirt. And that's when I realized like how people cherish this game. And I couldn't take it from him, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't take it. So I just ended up giving him a shot. But
That's awesome.
like I became like people would see me in like shopping centers and hail me up and thing like hey, and that's when you realize that you go home and you watching their so-called sports center, you on their sports center. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, yeah,
So
It's
you like a
true.
little local hero in that area, Say, oh
yeah.
this guy
That's
like
right.
good.
And how? Let me ask you because I actually played in Venezuela for 4 years as well, and not to shift so much from baseball to basketball, but one of our legend, Leon Chiminam, he was like the Michael Jordan in terms of basketball for Venezuela. And when they heard I was from the Virgin Islands, they used to go crazy. When you was there and you get all of this experience, when you return back home to St. Thomas, and it was like pretty much split. What was your mentality like? Damn, I was just in Venezuela and this man would take my socks. And now I come home, another man watching you like, man, leave your mother. Hey, you're no making a lot. You know, you don't really get that type of respect in terms of the gravity of the sport. And you think that was fair in terms of I always say the Virgin Islands never understood what we have in terms of talent. Not just basketball, baseball, but all throughout the sport. Per capita, we have produced more superior athletes than any other nation on this earth. But for some reason, it never clicked. You know, rest in peace, Harry Clark. He just passed. I mean, the New York Yankees did things for him. Puerto Rico did a lot of things for him. What have we done for him in the Virgin Islands? It's like, okay, he was great, and everybody just move on. What you feel something is wrong about that? That's my main question. What we missing? What we missing in the VI? Really?
What we're missing is your culture is being lost. Like, I mean, when I was growing up, I never really I met like Muma was saying, I met Emo Plasket, a part of like 11 or 12, the same tournament when we were come for in St. Croix. And like, but my father and them, like, older heads would preach you about these guys and make you honor these kind of people and show you like these is who are like basically pave the road for you. So nowadays, most kids don't really, they ain't gonna cherish it. They ain't gonna know what it's about. But I mean, like, I've heard and I've seen our coaches go through it. As far as um, you're talking to your kids, you're trying to get you to them, you're telling them this, that, the other, what about the game. And the minute somebody from America comes with a camp or something like that, or whatever it is, like, they're telling your kids the same thing, but they're thinking like, oh, these people are better than you. Not realizing like the kind
Facts.
of talent that is here in the VA. Like, okay, Raheem and all of them went on this trip to Milwaukee and Chicago with CB years ago, like when I was a kid. And they basically went up there against like Tyson Chandler, Barry played against Tyson Chandler and them dude and basically dominate them. You know, like dominate, and those were like AAU teams that were put together to come to a specific tournament to showcase these different like top class athletes in the nation. And you, all of us who are on this show, and the people who've been on the show, we've been probably matched up in different tournaments with the top class person in their nation or their brackets or whatever. And
Can I
ain't to
brag a
say
little
that
bit?
they didn't impress
Yeah.
you, but it's not at the same time. It's like I could hang with him. Like, he get more problems with me than I got with he. You know
Yeah.
that
Can I
kind of
brag a
way.
little bit? Would you allow me to brag on your show because tonight is your time? Can I just brag for like 2 seconds?
You go back, you know. I mean, I come up underneath
Look,
the ice, so I mean, it's like I'm speaking, y'all. Like I tell you, I taking pictures from each one of y'all game and thing like that. Like that's what I did to become who I am now.
let me tell you, that thing that you're talking about with Raheem, I was on that team. Actually, I got MVP at that tournament. Me, Raheem,
I
Jabari,
only had for no
Curtis Young,
reason.
Killer. You know what I'm saying? CB took us there. You know who we beat on that team, Pang, in Chicago?
No, go
Paul
ahead.
McPherson. Paul McPherson went to the Phoenix
Big,
Suns.
yeah, big
Lance
DePaul.
Mm.
went to DePaul. Quentin
Yeah.
Richardson went to
DePaul.
DePaul.
Yep.
Bobby Simmons went to
DePaul.
DePaul and
Yep.
went to the New York Knicks. All three of those guys went, all four of those guys playing in the NBA. You know how much
NBA.
they beat those guys by? 25 points in the
Yep.
finals.
Damn.
The VI man them beat them man by that point. And all four of them guys went to the NBA. It just
Yeah.
shows like well, I've just said, man, we had so much of a wealth of talent. We didn't know what we were doing at them time. We didn't even know that man was the top players in America. And we went to Chicago and we destroyed them, pan. Destroy when I tell you. And the fact that damn, these man played so many years in the NBA and everybody think they're so great. The VI took a team and destroyed these man. And that's why I
Yeah.
said, just brag a little bit. We literally destroyed them boys.
Hey, we touching on school a little bit, right? I think like really and truly one of the things we got to start focusing on is really getting these kids in the right school, getting the right grades, like making this important because a lot of times we already get we already behind the curveball. No pun intended because we done a baseball interview, but we already behind the curveball.
That's
When
a
I
good
tell
one.
you, because because there's nobody looking at us. Like Quinton Richardson is this was one of my favorite players watching. So I kind of follow his career, and I heard him tell his story like plenty times. Like these people they just in a better position than us. That's all it is. They are no better than us. So that's why when not saying that our school is bad schools, the one that we end up going to, but we need to start getting our players into schools that where they're gonna be seen, and that's where the grades gonna come into play. You know what I'm saying? Where the SATs gonna come into play. We need to start making like people like we need to start. I know when I was in school, I had a lot of teachers looking out for me, like want me to come class, want to work with me, work extra with me. They used to like beg me to come class, and so like because they could see the potential in me on the basketball court. You know what I'm saying? And they used to sit me down and talk to me, and I was hard headed. A lot of times I used to be in conversation, they going in one ear and just coming out the next. Because I know the first thing I do when I go and leave here is go look for basketball to go and play. You know what I'm saying? I ain't studying with no class. But if we could just emphasize that we get the right teachers in place. So just I ain't saying you got chased on these kids, because they got wanted too. But we need to have more teachers in place that like really value these kids and want to see them do good, my son, because we are lacking that. A lot of people just want to collect a paycheck, you know what I mean? And not focus on these kids' education, but we need to get these kids in the right school where they could be seen, because ain't nothing different between your your talent than Quinton Richardson. It's just the school that he went to. Even though you went to a Division 1, Tegan,
Mm.
how much TV game you had?
Well, I kind of had a lot, but like you said, that man was a bigger school than me.
Right. And
Yeah.
but I could count how much when I was in school and you were going to school. I could count how much time I watch you on TV, and it's
Mhm.
more it's more it's more than a lot because we were in the same city, so I could see you locally. You
Yes.
check. I talk about ESPN
Nationally, national, the
nationally,
ESPN, the
right?
real CBS, real national games, and
How much people
Yeah.
you think watch Quinton Richardson when he play?
he was on TV every day, and that was
Right.
the
You know,
difference.
that's exactly the difference. You know
The
what I'm
most,
saying?
the most. I really don't want to get too much off topic, but Larena said it. I think she said like a million times. It's all about opportunities. If the kids they get opportunities, they don't get looks and stuff like that, and things gonna
Yeah, I
happen.
mean,
You know.
that's the main thing right now. I mean, we have a lot of people like they talk and they state that we about the future, which in I ain't gonna lie, like when we were playing ball and stuff, we had some real talent. We had like talent that could um, go through the roof. But I don't know if y'all remember. I mean, I don't know how it was in St. Croix, you know. But when I was growing up in elementary schools, like your phys ed teacher would, even though you might play this sport, that sport, you had a written test and a physical test for like basketball or softball or the different sports. So you were like learning about the sports. So right now, when you look at like an elementary game or even a junior high game, say for instance basketball and all, like the game don't look like it's supposed to look because
And
they
it's
weren't
poor.
learning nothing in elementary. The programs like I see nowadays in elementary, like many kids in like seventh grade, sixth grade, you go on you bypass and you see a teacher out there today is steel old man bacon, tomorrow is jump roof, like ain't like nothing. And we to talk about like what you say the academic side, but the virginals really they have to realize like And I've been saying this for years. The same way Puerto Rico is the same way I think the Virgin Islands could be in a sense, as far as like we base ourselves off of tourism. Don't get me wrong. But in the off season, which is summertime and stuff, when it kind of hot and stuff like that, when people ain't doing as much traveling, this is where you need to become now a sports hub. You know, we should have had like complexes where like you could throw like I can have a feel now. Like you should have track tournaments, soccer tournaments, and you inviting like different Caribbean places to come in there to add to your revenue, to put yourself on the map. So now by putting yourself on the map, you bring in people to see other athletes, but your athletes are also getting recognized because now it's like remember now we're smart. We can't just speak up and say, yeah, you need to come here. You know, other than Tim Duncan, like we really don't have no extra big face to say like this is the Virgin Islands per se.
I agree.
So it's up to like us. Like I had to be proud, like like Tegan, you say you coaching. Like ever since I come back, like the mistakes I made or my downfalls, whatever it is, that's what I've been doing now. I've been coaching kids. I have like I've been coaching Little League for at least 10 years. I coach volleyball too. So I try to give kids opportunities. I try to keep things as you would say real or 100%. I can't afford to predict or tell them about a wall that ain't real. So I get times like players of mine now could tell you people who play for me. Like if you come to a practice and like you ain't giving your all, you know, I don't mind sometimes things might be happening mentally or whatever. But when you just moving like you don't care, you this and you disrespectful, I ain't gonna quit on you. I ain't gonna tell you like don't come back forever. But you for sure going home that day. Like go home. We gonna work on this thing another day. And then when you come back, they're not gonna attack you because at the same time, like most of us know, just like back then, you realize like sometimes you're a man in the household, even though you ain't in that young man household or that young lady household per se. You know what I'm saying? You are the next mentor, you are the next like father figure that they have. So you gotta try your best. You gotta realize everybody you have a different
your
personality.
consciousness.
You can't
I love your
like
consciousness,
you
man.
can't
Your
yell at
consciousness
somebody,
is
and it's a give and take. So like even up to my parents, like my parents have kind of bought in. Like I had to be tough to my kids, sometimes, but I would always tell you they're gonna be battle tested by the time they leave my team, and I mean
that's
battle
right.
tested life wise. Because for me, I don't know how like individual sport is. I played tennis like years ago. I thought it was a gully sport and I quit. You know, but I know in a team sport, I get to teach you something as far as discipline, how to cope with things, how to approach different things on different angles. So by the time you leave me in just the sport, you understand it. You gain a better concept of life itself.
Man, that's awesome. You actually giving me goosebumps. I just love your spirit. I like your consciousness. That's great. That's really great. St. Thomas is in good hands. Trust me.
Definitely in good hands. Definitely.
Oh, hey, I got to shout out my like my mother, Carla Sarauw, my father, Pops. That's the foundation, basically. Uh, they show love all the time, unconditionally. Sometimes you won't agree. Up to this day, I mean, it is you won't agree on everything, but at the end of the day, you're gonna hear them or you have that respect because that's what paved the path for you. I got shout out my sister, not because of just because she's my sister. I feel like what she's doing or what she's trying to do, accomplish as far as a community wise. I like her goals. I like her concepts. I like that she also loves the sports too. And as a senator, she has coached. You know, um,
It's so funny,
I got
right?
shout out.
I'm
I got
just
shout out my class of 2000.
let me stop you real quick.
For
I
life.
had to say
Big man
this.
raising tongue, but I not devil for life.
I had to say this. I was going to ask you if Senator Sauer was your related to you. So that's your
Yeah,
sister?
that's my little sister. Yeah, I mean, basically my
Oh
sister.
my God, that's great. I had that question all night. Like, damn, I wonder if Janelle related to this man.
I mean, like I say, I mean, I think athletics basically run in the blood. We just have something that God just put in our gene pool because she became a hell of a athlete. Like my sister used to play baseball. I tell you a
Yeah, she.
story, a real story about Janelle. My sister was so good, like just playing sport, just naturally talented, like how I talented, and I didn't realize it. So she came into a so-called men's game, a men's sport to play little league. My sister would be in the outfield throwing up a glove, throwing stones, cause she was bored, you know. But and you believe like in the middle of the glove coming down, the crack of the bat, bam, Janelle will pick up the ball, catch the glove, put it on her hand, run down the ball in the outfield, catch the ball in the outfield, and get it back to the infield.
That's crazy.
Like
That's
she
that sounds like
could have
something you
played
would see on
basketball,
a
like
cartoon.
for real.
I
She did
tell
all
you.
star team and thing. Like she was athlete. Like it used to freak me out to see that a girl could do this. And she played basketball too. She's average like by
That's why
like
no
10 to
ads.
14 point 10 to 14 rebounds a game. I think she was like a double in her days, you know. So she could have do her thing.
Mm.
Man,
Yeah, she was a
that's
good athlete.
awesome, man. Man, you made my night tonight. Really made my night. I love that. I love that story. We even get some questions. Mumba, you want to ask a question? We get the comments, the chat.
So
Before you ask a question, Mumbai, I just want to say good night to everybody. I got to make a run. I was just killing some time on the cast until I got a little appointment. I know it's late, but I had some prior obligations. But hey, I love the story. Like I said, I'm gonna still be tuning in. I'm gonna still be watching. But just keep sharing your story. And I see a few comments of what you're doing as a coach now. Really proud of you. I really like to see that you're still out there in the field and helping our kids them today. So I'm gonna be tuning in, listening to the story. Nice meeting the man for the first time. And hey, just praises to you.
I mean, my
appreciate it,
boy,
pal.
there, you know.
Appreciate it, big bro.
Tiga Mumba. I'll
Big
see
bro.
you on Sunday. I'm probably gonna chat to you before the next interview, but I'm see you on Sunday. Good night to everybody and love, brothers.
Yeah,
For
much
sure,
love,
bro.
big
I
bro.
man,
Much love.
I like,
That's it.
Appreciate
That's
you.
it.
Appreciate you, brother.
yeah, I appreciate it.
Okay, so let's get to these. So Terry asks, what was I need to scroll back up. Oh my gosh. Who was your toughest competition on the islands? Yeah, who was your
Uh,
toughest competition in the islands?
I had a whole lot of tough competition. I was an underdog team coming up like in Little League. I say one of my toughest competitions in Little League itself had to be being like this dude Peony, Javon Rabsat, which you were talking about him the other day, Black Diamond.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, Richie were one of them too. Like as far as like being in my age range, like when I was like so called at the age of being dominant at that level, like they were rough, like rough outs, mentality of the game, like yeah, they were rough. I didn't face Makil until after, and I didn't realize like my cousin would leaps and bounds ahead of me, even though I thought like like I was the man. Like
Mm.
he really showed me something, like he really did, you know. Um, Coming up like through senior league, I mean, I didn't really take nobody as like stiff competition, but I had problems against like a lefty matchup.
Okay.
So I say like had this guy in Little League named Amin Richards, like I'd say Javon Rapsat. Like they just used to just abuse me with curveballs, like had me looking foolish, until I eventually learned probably at like 15, 16 to like really just stay in there and bat. So by that time, like I had this guy named Jamal Kelly. Yeah, you play with it. I think he played with us Mumbai. He played with us again
Yeah.
with Dexter. And Dexter
Yeah.
was another one.
Dexter was
Rough.
good, yeah.
I eventually in high school run up into this so-called man child that they had bring from St. Croix, Terry Byron. Uh, didn't really know, didn't care. Like that was my mentality. You gotta prove to me like you want something. Your name can't shake me. So I had this little tournament and I was pitching. And like I said, I probably getting the ball up into the 90s by then. And he hit a ball and just disappeared.
Wow.
Like it just disappeared
Oh
out
man.
over Jayad, over the lights. Like I think that's the farthest ball I'd ever seen hit in the stadium, and then there's the farthest ball I think I'd ever seen hit off of me personally.
That's crazy. That's
So
crazy.
yeah, he was one. But like I
Terry
was
was a
always
man.
like I ain't gonna lie, like I never toot my own horn in public and like, oh, I better than you and this and that. But in my head, and like once I step in between the lines, I don't care what the lines were.
That's
Like
right.
I used to consider myself a one man wrecking crew. Like I come in, I come in, like every sport I play, I mean, I probably gonna be the star in like basketball or those, but I gonna be there. Like for basketball, you said that to account for me because I can shoot your lights out. Like don't lose me, don't sleep on me, don't lose me, Tegan. I loosen it. You know
You
what I'm
ready?
saying?
You ready to lose it?
Yeah.
That's
I
the
was like, man, like,
confidence.
don't be in the kind of breathing room. Volleyball, like I didn't care who you were. Like I went to a tournament in complex my 9th grade year. God rest his soul in peace. My boy to the ground, Lozzie. Gerald lost James the
Yeah,
third. That was my
James.
dad
Rest
to
in
the
peace,
ground.
Loz.
Yeah, rest in
Lozzie was
peace. Yeah.
setting for complex. I was setting for Eudora Kent. We were outclassed. I ain't gonna lie. We ended up winning St. Thomas easy. High school gonna beat us. But when you come to Central Complex, Country Day, and you play for Country Day, like you had your hands full.
Yeah.
But like I ended up playing lights out that tournament, ended up winning best setter. And Tegan, you remember you asked me earlier about referees and people who
Yeah. Yeah.
thing. So I win the best setter award over Lozzie. Apparently they don't engrave the best setting award under Lozzie name. So let me keep my trophy and leave it at the lady desk, whoever it was.
They rob you. They rob you, my boy. They rob you.
Crazy. That is crazy.
They rob you. They
I
rob
was
you.
really good in volleyball. Like I could have set out of this wall. Like
You was good at
that's
volleyball.
why I know.
You
So
was.
I really good. And that's the mentality I had. And because I had a mentality, I think like I used to consider myself a war general, and everybody else were my soldiers. And that's how they used to move. Like if I in the building and I go move, and like they feel like we all could win, and that's what I wanted it to be. And that's how it was when I had first step and like I play for PAL. I play for PAL. So I come on a team with just like Raheem Court, a whole heap of them. They were just goons. So I observed the game and I just played the game the best I could have played when I could have played.
Right.
So,
Now, let me ask you. I saw a picture you.
You got
more questions?
Yeah, let me get.
Ask the question. Ask the questions, then, and then
One,
I got.
you get one more. You hear Tegan?
Mm.
One more. Lorena asks, who is the best athlete in the family?
That's a good one.
Lorena asks, who is the best athlete in the family?
That'd be me, hands down.
That's a great answer.
Great answer.
You could say it's a personal answer, but I mean, I played the most sport as far as I was concerned. I played them at a good level too. Like I say, I've won like best setters. I've won MVPs for volleyball. I've played flag football and tackle football. I was like best defensive player and those kind of squads. So I was a student at everything I played, like everything. Like once I had a ball, like I could play ping pong too. I'm probably the best, but I could hold my own on a ping pong table, but I could play pool. Like yeah, I mean I tried to the only thing I can do is hit a golf ball. I tried to hit a golf ball and for some reason it don't go the way you want it to go. So whoever to play golf, kudos to you. I have a lot of talent.
That one tough. That's a tough one. Yeah, that's a tough one. Also,
but I think my sister will be the next, and then maybe my mother. But my sister gotta be like right there. Like she was real good. Like she played with the dudes in the basketball court. those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I was the same height. You can imagine, right? You get 3 years between you and your sister. You could wear horseshoes because she's the same size as you. Same height, everything. For years,
That's
To
crazy.
this day, she's still taller than
That
me.
is crazy.
Well, big up to her. Let her know that we love her. We definitely want she on because I want to ask her about when she ruled the Whopper man about the lights because the lights get her the scholarship. That's one of my favorite ever posts. So give my girl her lights. You hear? Pour up her lights, them.
Go ahead, Tegan. You was gonna ask a question before I asked that.
God, I mean, I kind of get old. What the hell I was gonna ask again? Go ahead, go
No,
ahead.
no, stop.
It'll come back. It'll come back. I had a very important
Hey,
question.
you're
Don't worry.
making me feel bad, Tiga. If that's what happened when you reach 40, me never want to reach 40.
Yeah, but and hey, it's just been a rough day. But trust me, I have a lot of questions for you because I'm very interested. But sometimes that's what I be stopping Mumba them when I have my questions because once they tell me wait, oh God, it
All
just
right,
jumps.
I'm gonna make sure I won't tell you wait anymore, so you could definitely don't forget.
Okay,
So
good thing, good thing. Go ahead, go
yeah.
ahead. It'll come back.
No,
It'll come.
I wanted to highlight something about Sarah
Okay,
too. Was
okay.
oh my God, Tegan, you're killing me.
It just come back. I'm sorry. Levron, I'm sorry. This is it. This is it. Because I didn't want this past me. I saw a moment of the picture and I was reading up an article. Were you drafted by a team? The picture you put up, Mumba, when you was praising your father and stuff like that. When I was reading the
Nah,
article,
I had
what was
never
that
been
about?
drafted by no team at the time. Like I said, it was in. We barely had school league, but we had a couple of games. W or more. The big thing for me as far as like, I played senior league ball and was good by the time I was 14 or 15, I should say. But I'd be running from Corwin to go up in the stadium to go play ball in the night, and then I just like eventually when the senior league was done, like double A basically consumed me. Like I would practice my other sports and then come to double A practice still. So I wasn't drafted, but like I said, like I was saying before, I think I would listen to something.
The
Like
schools.
right now,
The
from ninth
schools.
grade, if you could just get like videos of kids and stuff like that, because you are away from the mainland, like that's a big help, especially if you could know as a parent travel. That's why I'd be happy for like Lorena then because I had a daughter. I have a daughter, and I wasn't able to go to Jamaica with her, and I wasn't able to go to I think there went Martinique for the junior national goals. And it was such a blessing. Like I could have see her like through the video thing and everything to see her play because she only playing ball for a year. To see her playing at that level, it really impressed me.
Wow,
And then
that's
now
And
it's
I'm
like
gonna
she
toot
just
your hand a little bit. I heard
that's
some
yeah.
very
And then
amazing.
good.
she came to play for school league, and it was like I don't know how other parents feel, but the first time I see my own child play ball, like it was for real, was like surreal. I didn't tear up, like, but I had like water in my eyes, goosebumps, like, and
A
she
great
and
feeling, man.
she was like dominant on the court. She wasn't just like even though she was in ninth grade playing varsity volleyball, she was like a dominant force on the court. Like her team used to like look for her. She had responsibilities, so hey.
I feel you. I
It's
feel
a
you.
beautiful
That's
feeling.
I mean, look,
a
both of
beautiful
us have
thing,
the
man.
same feeling. Mumbason is actually a star athlete. My daughter just started playing sports. We don't really want the pressure. We want to be the most supportive in terms of being a parent. But like you say, we all have been superstar athletes. For me personally, I tell her, look, if you're serious about the sport, I'm gonna be there 100% with you. But you have to show me that commitment. I can be there 1,000,000%. That's just my thing. If
Yeah,
you're just
my
doing it for
daughter,
fun and
she
blah blah
turn
blah
on
blah,
like a
blah
dog
it's all
off a
good.
chain.
Hmm.
She just
Say
turn
again.
on like she literally turn on like I think the tournament she went to Jamaica. She was still like iffy with the Martinique or whatever. After a Jamaica tournament and then I think Complex had host a varsity tournament and Charlotte Amalia win and she ended up walking over with the MVP. Like she take the game on a different level. She started to take it serious. So
Wow.
I just would like to see what it looked like in some years to come.
So I have a good question now. This is really good. So she goes to Charlotte to Mali.
Yeah.
So what the devil is family saying about that? Okay.
I mean, in the household, I'm the odd one if you gotta catch it. Like my father was a chicken hack, my sister was a chicken hack. My
Yeah, that's true.
mother is from St. Kitts, so she ain't like she don't have no say, but we from town basically. So I'm the only
Jesus.
one who got a devilry, and I wouldn't lie to you,
Right.
Tegan. Like when I was cheering for her, it felt so weird, wrong, and awkward just yelling out "Go chicken hacks." Like
I
for real,
feel
it didn't feel right. It didn't feel right at all. But she's mine. Like I got back out
that's right.
150%, and
That's right.
you know, cause I didn't know what she was gonna do. It's like her first sport was your first sport, Tiga, soccer. She started to play soccer, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I was like, man, what kind of nonsense this child talking about with this soccer's business and da da da. Like it went in my head, like like what? But then I didn't want to pressure her, so I just let her do whatever she feel like
Yeah.
for years. And then she started to be around volleyball through like being around like my father, my sister, the sport, me coming to some of my practices. And she was just like naturally gifted. Like my daughter doesn't play no softball, but Mumba, you could put on a glove now and you could throw to my ball. My daughter regular put on a glove and she could catch it. Like
She
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 just
got
have
it,
it
man.
running in her blood.
She got
But
it.
she don't want to
She
play no
got it.
softball. But she could
Wow.
slide,
That's
she could catch, she could bat, but she just don't do it.
Maybe
She
if she
loves
when she get
volleyball.
older, maybe when she get older, man, she might fall in love with it. You know,
She's 15
possibility.
now, so I don't know when.
Oh well,
yes,
time running out. Time running out. We
she
have
right
a
there.
we have a viewer question here. Was it hard for you to watch your sister coach your daughter in school league and at any point did you overstep boundaries?
Um, nah, it wasn't hard for me to watch her coach my daughter because I know it will coming. I mean, I know she gonna get a brunt of the tough love and everything, but as far as I'm concerned, I feel like that's what she had need. Like she
Yeah,
always just high lollygagging and this and that, and she needed to know that she has a talent that is very useful. And as a parent, sometimes it's hard to coach your own child. I mean, she knows just like a lot of kids who I coach, like they listen to me a little more than you listen to the average coach because I've been back so long. I've been playing in their eyes. They've seen me hit, play volleyball, play basketball, so they know that I could do it. So they don't have the
yeah,
faith in like what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But as
That's
far as
fast.
your own child, it's kind of different. But I felt that Janelle handled her good. Like Janelle will come to me sometimes and tell me like, "Oh, I ain't in that with this and that." And I was like, "Yo, do what you gotta do. If you gotta run her, you run her. Like I have faith in her because I knew that my sister knows the sport. She played
That's
on
right.
that level. She knows what it takes to get there. So I didn't have no problem. I mean, the most time I do is like if I see something going on in a game, she's my sister. I know sometimes she gonna want me hear it in the height or whatever, but I might whisper some observations I might see. But then that's overstepping boundaries too. And then I did it by once, and then I realized like man, to hell with it. I gonna just wait till the game done,
Everything
and
done.
we just have a discussion. But
Yeah.
like as an athlete and as a parent, you can hype up you in this thing and you want to. So it's kind of hard, like you know the
It's hard.
sport, you know those things, you actually know technical whatever. So it's kind of hard to just sit back. But now I've just become a fan at a chair on a team.
yeah.
So that's the best I could do.
That's good,
I
man.
mean,
That's
other
good.
than
That's good.
she did pick at my brain too. Like I'll bump with her, I'll volley with her. Like she did pick at my brain. So yeah,
Wow.
That's beautiful, man. And you know that relationship will get closer because she definitely will keep picking at you, and then you guys creating that kind of communication in terms of having a band of playing that one sport. Trust me, you
and my
get a
mom is a
lot more.
volleyball player too, so she get going, bro.
Yeah, man. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. That's nice, man.
So, what do you think in terms of our atmosphere now, in terms of COVID? Because COVID really have put a damper in terms of sports. I mean, if it was ever a bad time for COVID to hit, it's right now. We don't really have any kind of health protocol or anything. You think we will have sports this year in terms of scholastic? And if not, what you gonna do to continue doing in terms of being a coach first of all, and then being a father by motivating your daughter and your kids?
Um, these different times, like I was telling somebody, this whole COVID thing is something that is basically uncharted territory. Like, as an adult, as a grown up, it affects you in a certain way. But as a child, um, their future, their growing is different now, especially knowing that you have like so many kids other than like we what you would call underprivileged, like living in housing places, parents, two jobs, some don't have Wi-Fi. Like how you explain like the learning process of kids now as far as just school. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, I want sports kick back up, but it's like you guys you want to stabilize children at least getting back to school because they can't play sports if they can't go back to school.
Facts.
And is so many questions that's like unanswered. Like Major Leaguers playing now, they get games that they postpone because they doing it like the NBA. They're in a NBA in a bubble with Major Leaguers traveling.
Yeah.
You know, um, the thing is can you get under wraps? Is there going to be like some kind of cure? But it's hard to do because we live in different to like, for example, Tortola. I don't play ball in Tortola. They have a league getting ready to start in Tortola, Fast with Saval. They just had a festival in Tola, basically. Because they shut down everything
Because
to
the
prevent,
border. Yeah.
and we even though we want to, we don't have that power because of who we are run by or run by. So it's a whole lot of dynamics. And as far as sports playing this year, man, that's that's one that I don't want to say it like this, and we only in August, but I can't really see like a definite yes to any kind of like sports like playing like this year. Even colleges right now willing to just
To
sacrifice.
postpone. Yeah. A lot of them
Yeah, and
are
we all want to talk about
participating.
like the money, what I'm saying? As far as like colleges, I don't know why colleges are even complaining. You could actually shut down about 2 seasons, and colleges still have the money because they have been having that revenue for years. It's
Yeah,
a multi-billion-dollar business,
that's true.
But as far as like these community leagues or whatever, like I think like the CDC might have to like probably come up with something and limit the amount of maybe people. I don't even, I like there's so many different like avenues to explore. So it's something that you think about, but it give you a headache just thinking about it because like I coach like I tell you Little League, which is almost all year round. By now this is like kind of like my vacation time until maybe October from the kids. But it's like you as a coach, it's almost like you don't have facilities to use, you have nothing. So you losing motivation as a coach yourself. Like I've had days like I've lost the motivation. I just felt like when this thing started back, should I even go back to coach?
It's tough.
But
It's
at the
really
same
tough.
time, it's like what you have to offer or what you feel like you have to offer to the kids. And I'm a true believer in like the kids in the future. And politics in basically anything around the world right now is what playing games with everything.
That's right.
We ain't want to be straightforward. We want to probably skim money off our top and jeopardize programs. We want to put together programs and we don't have how would you say like a game plan? Like even up to like summer camps, for instance, like Tegan, you working for Housing Park, like unless like you make your own grade as to what you want over the 6 weeks, your department is not providing you this is what we feel like, this is what we're looking at improving what we want. You know what I'm saying? Is like providing a program of what what are you providing the program? It's only a few of I work in housing park too, and I used to feel like that. It's only a few of us who wanted to be serious about this thing about kids. You in a summer camp, but sometimes you only need your eyes. I just need your eyes to just watch, see kids,
Right.
and even that you don't want to do. So why are you here? Why are you working for this department? You're in the wrong place, and it got me in trouble a couple of times. I can get passionate about it because we watching people, kids. We are about the
Yeah,
future,
the future is about the future.
how can you try to change your future? Really and truly, how can you really try to try to change your future? Because at the end of the day, think about it, right? At the end of the day, the world is wrong. So you try to change me today. You try to change me and my people today, and you short us or whatever. It might not be this generation. We are the
That's right.
next two,
We
three
gotta come back.
generations will suffer because of what it is you felt that you needed to be greedy or you needed to just look out for your friend. You know how many people we have around here now in power, in a place of maybe leadership. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't really qualified per se. Some qualified and doing the job, but a lot of people just there for style. They ain't willing to go the extra mile. They ain't willing to get into the nitty gritty. You know how many sports I coaching like I said for endless of years. Little League plays from January to like June or whatever. You have volleyball leagues that go from beginning of school year till December, basketball too. And how many times you will actually see uh commissioner, uh senator, maybe even a governor come and watch a game. They have no idea like as to what is transpiring there, so they don't even come out and talk to you as a public official. They don't come there on the streets. They don't come and visit you as a school just to even see what you might want or even make you feel
Yeah,
like
you are
you are
important in the
one.
community. Yeah, I always
Just
felt like, in a way, they never, like you said, they never really took the sport seriously. They have us many ways like we as babysitters. And now that this COVID is has really hit and really have people at a standstill, they are look at the sports environment now like, what can you do for us? And now
yeah,
they're
they're
seeing the
begging for you
sport
now.
as
Everybody begging for you right now. That's true.
exactly.
They're looking for
Wow.
So
codes. They want the child out the house. Why you can't at least let my child go to the park? Why the park's closed? How come we
exactly.
can't go in the gym? But before when we wanted some of them to come practice and things like that, like
They
you
won't
won't
bring
find
them.
them.
That's terrible.
Like
That
I
is
would even
terrible.
like I even
That's
Wow.
gone
the
to the
facts.
extra mile, right? I even got to the extra mile. I had I think maybe like a couple of players who were like from Gomez school in the country. So I would try my best that their parents in town, I pick them up coming from country just so like you could play ball. And I'll coach any kid like that if you're willing to just come along. You gotta give me the best talent. Just come like you want to come. Yeah, come. We gonna learn together.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's how I truly feel.
That's facts, man. Like I said,
It's
man, your spirit is in in the right. But you sure you don't want one percentage to send Damas? You ain't ready yet?
Tigan. Tigan.
And no,
Yeah,
when
well,
people speak in the spirit, man, I can just feel, like I say, something with truth and spirit. You can just feel somebody's spirit, and they look. All of we do our job, and we know we need money to pay Wapa, cause Wapa killing all of we. But we go beyond what we gain in our paycheck. We are trying to accelerate the next generation, and I just feel that in his spirit. I know he's in it for the right reason. You can just tell.
oh
You
yeah,
can't feel
definitely.
things like this.
If you
But
know,
the
if you know
Couple of years
Sarauw,
back,
if you
right?
know
Couple of
Sarauw, you
years
know
back,
he
right?
cares.
Hold on. Couple of years back, it used to be so bad, right? That it had some guys, came back from college and everything. They make it in whatever their respective sport was. But education had a rule that if you were not in the education department, you couldn't coach his
coach,
team. And you have
as
a
we
lot
can
of
just
people who
type
were just
in
out there at the
this.
time, collecting a paycheck. You as a general person want to come out there to help and benefit whoever, and education is just basically shutting you down. So that alone, the like was speaking volumes. I mean, it has changed now, but that was volumes that was being spoken years ago. Why are we coming back? And why are you people are going leaving here to in their respective fields, whether it be doctors, lawyers, nurses, psychologists, heavy equipment guys. But yet when they come back here and they want a job, you're not offering them their job. But yet we don't have no money. But yet you take and you subcontract all of this money to whoever is this outside source, and then we look now, we are kind of write up in the paper, such and such $1 million missing. These
It's
people were
crazy.
just BS artists. So
Man,
I mean, it's not even just in sports. You have a rich tradition of academics, smart people who are we are forced. Like when you leave here as island people and you to see other like island people, you could say one thing: the Caribbean in itself, not just the Virgin Islands. When you watch the
yes,
Caribbean, you realize some of the most talented people, minds and stuff that you don't come across to be out of this Caribbean when
that's
they
right.
just don't have
That's true.
the opportunity, that funding, that
That's
whatever
true.
it is, that like see how we here now. If we don't say we want to mobilize all of this as one big unit, this separate thing and just throwing a stone at a house ain't gonna basically knock down the house. We don't have the whole um ball and
The whole
everything to
gang.
just you know.
It's true.
That's facts. That's facts.
That's
And
true.
I got echo. Let me just echo a little thing, just a little bit in my experience, because in 2013, I became the president of Interscholastic and St. Croix. And I told them I went to watch Ali's games. And when I watched these elementary games, that thing just hurt my heart because we had that same stupid rule where outsiders who know the sport can't come in because of this stupid stipend, right? And people will literally sit down on the bench and won't call a foul, won't call a sub, just let the kids them running up and down. They learn absolutely nothing. And I came back, I called a meeting. I said, look, we need to change this. This stipend thing is destroying our future generation. And I told the board,
Yeah.
let me just do this just for 2 years. Let we suspend the stipend and let we weed out the one them who don't want to coach for free, who don't want to coach from their heart. Let me just weed them out. And once we can get them out of the system, we can bring in people who definitely care, and then you can start paying them again. I don't mind people getting paid for their craft because you are putting in time, and wherever they're paying you ain't nothing compared to what people make in the States. Them are making 30, 40, 50,000. They're making way more than what we make. But we have to understand when we make the decision to train the next generation, it can't be based on a little check that you get inside your pocket. You are in a position to accelerate young minds, young talent. And if we can't do that there from the bottom of our heart to our best of our ability, then we fail in them. We are the failure to them. We are the reflection. And man, after I done with that meeting, what? If I can tell you how much bad what I get, you won't even believe. You crazy? Man, they
And
give
that's
them
like you
someone
said,
that
people
excitement,
want
man.
a job out there, but people ain't willing to do what to do what it takes to like really forward with this progress. And
Yeah.
that's what put you to hit the wall because you forwarding and then the people who are above you, like for instance, right? My first time I started to coach Little League, I work in housing park and recreation. I was coaching with Grapo, God rest his soul, in peace. I was coaching with twins with him.
Mhm.
My department turned around and tell me I can't coach Little League and work housing park at the same time. So I was basically like I couldn't coach for some years, and then I just kind of get, I guess you would say, frig up because somebody else in the department were doing it. So I was like, man, the hell with it. You don't gotta send me home, or you don't gotta come home with a good write up, because like I don't coach Little League. So I
Who
eventually
was the
just made
commissioner
my
at that
start
time?
again. Huh?
Who was the commissioner at that time? St. Clair? Williams?
Yep.
Wow,
Whoever will copy them.
that was amazing.
That's crazy. That's sad,
I
man.
know St. Clair.
It's sad.
I wonder it's
Yeah.
strange.
That's telling me like basically I can't do it or whatever it is because I supposed to be on a government clock. But my whole thing was I was like I coaching and the games in Griffith. I work in Griffith. This is my facility. Where
You're
the
doing the
club.
government work. And that's one thing I must give kudos to my commissioner in terms of who is the commissioner with Calvert White. I don't know how well you know him, but as much as I do work with Sports Park, he gave me the authority to explore and keep working with our kind of kids and all. I don't just coach complex. I do after school programs. I coach kids from all the schools in St. Croix. It don't matter. I'm not just a complex coach. That's what I tell people. Yeah, complex is complex, but look, whoever wants to learn this game and I have this knowledge, I am willing to share it with you. Because at the end of the day, the Virgin Island will rise. And that's what it's all about. I'm not tied into no school and stuff like that. When complex play, do I want complex to win? Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Mumba,
you
you
can
know.
always have that school
That's our
pride.
alma
For
mater.
sure.
But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, we just want to see the kids them rise, man. And that's just it.
That's what it is. I think when you get older, like our age and stuff like that, you realize, like, man, at the end of the day, the more kids that win, the more opportunities for other people and the more opportunities for the future generation.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
and that's the thing. It's all about the kids. If it's just sad hearing you guys talk, and I'm just listening and soaking it in, and it's just sad, man. It's real sad. You know, up here, you know, you have these trouble teams and stuff like that. These people don't get paid for this. They're doing it because they love it, or they're doing it to create opportunities for these kids. Pretty much that's what it's all about up here. You know, to hear about the stipend, and because you know you took away the stipend,
It's
a lot of
crazy.
people leave. It's sad, man. It's sad.
It
You
wasn't even
know,
about a stipend at first, you know, like they just didn't like they didn't want to let like anybody from outside in because in of that stipend because in I guess they felt like people asked for it and I mean rightfully so like you can say I mean a lot of people had like other jobs and they were sacrificing time with their family and stuff like that. And it just be nice to a little something of gratitude. Cause half of the coaches when they're
yeah,
done and they're done use that's what I say money they're gonna use and maybe try a beach party or buy some pizza
exactly,
and take it chill
Yeah,
exactly.
out, so
You
yeah.
know, because
so
truth be told, and I don't want to belittle the stipend, it's not a lot of money. Okay, it's yeah, but it's not a lot for the time you put in with these youths. You know, every sport you go way beyond wherever they paying you. So in terms of the stipend, it's not about that. It's just about first of all, you have to have people committed to accelerating these young people's life, male and female. And once you got that, nobody cares what you make, but you have to show that commitment, man. You can't just
Definitely.
take somebody who don't know nothing about the sport, and because he has the right over somebody who outside who may know more, like a Levron, and you say, okay, well, he ain't in the school system, so let me promote the janitor, promote the monitor who knows a little thing, and let he do it. No, you don't do that. You can still have that person as an assistant coach. He might even learn, you know what I'm saying, from Levron, but they won't do that. It's just like, no, sir, he coming in here to take my stipend, my son, not he. That's
That's crazy.
crazy.
That's crazy. And we have a
That's
question. We have a viewer question I want to get to from Mark Joseph Daniel. How many times have you represented the Virgin Islands in international competition, and how many different sports?
wow. Wow.
That's a
Uh,
lot.
international. I really can't count. I would be honest and say that sports has provided me the luxury of taking endless of free trips, like endless. I've been to Panama, Venezuela. I mean, I've been up and down like the East Coast playing ball. Um, like I was saying, in '99, I represented the Virgin Islands junior national team. Volleyball in Jamaica, me, Girali, Lozzie, Andy, um, Toby. Yeah, we had a good little team. I met some guys. What else? I've been to Venezuela with Shang them, like I tell you before. Panama was a different experience, you know. It was us in our boys' home. Like when we travel, like these people are coming and they'd be in hotel and think when we went there, them and take and move the boys and all the boys home. Put all of us in the boys' home. We Santo Domingo, Nicaragua,
Wow.
and at the time, it was a Latin American tournament. It wasn't the
Yeah,
Caribbean tournament. What is it playing now? So basically, we were the only English-speaking team at the time, except for we found out that Aruba or Curacao, somebody, I think Aruba were down there, and Aruba spoke English, Spanish,
Dutch.
Papimento, you know.
Yeah,
So
Papimentos
they
is
were our
Dutch, yeah.
translators. So in those tournaments over the years, you know to pick up on little things or whatever it is. But yeah, I've been to Puerto Rico. I remember a year I came back here. I can't remember how old, and I went to trial for the Virginals national volleyball team. But I went to college. Nobody see me play volleyball in years. You know, and I actually didn't play volleyball in about 2 years. So I went to try out as a setter and an opposite hitter. And I mean, I felt like I hold my own really and truly. But it was a different community as why I left and came back to. So I wasn't known. I got caught telling me, lack of experience or we haven't seen you enough or whatever, yada, yada. And, as a player, you're upset. But at the same time, I had an understanding of where they were coming from. So I went the same year to take my grandmother some clothes in St. Kitts. And apparently St. Kitts national team had a tournament coming up. And the guys who played against me down here in a Labor Day tournament invited me to a practice. So I went to a practice, showed up to the practice, and they asked me like my name, who I was, and where I'm from. And I guess my mother has, prestige up there and everything, and that's where her people from. So he found out who I was. He was like, "Yeah, we have a tournament coming up. Do you want to play?" So I basically had to mail shoes from St. Thomas like overnight or whatever it is to play in this tournament. I really didn't think I was going to play. And I think like the second game in, their captain get injured and we didn't play the same position. And I guess sub in. And it was basically history after that. I almost walked MVP at that tournament. The next tournament, I was walking with MVP again.
That's crazy.
We lost the first tournament.
That is crazy.
The next Nasika tournament, we beat somebody for the championship. Whatever. So I've been at St. Kitts national team volleyball roster already before.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
And I have a great story about St. Kitts because the first time we went to last year we went to music fest. It was incredible. I love my time in St. Kitts. We are done by our ticket this year. Bomber clock, COVID just messed everything up. I don't have my 2 weeks off. Oh my God. St. Kitts was just awesome. White Sand Beach was awesome. I mean, like I said, all these Caribbean island is just one. If we can just get all these things together, we'll dominate. Everything we want to dominate, we can.
Yeah. Hey, the first time, right, I ever meet Mumba, right? I meet Rudolph. It's Rude Boy that man wasn't. Yeah, man, that man was Rude Boy.
Who are Rude Boy? You talk about Rudolph, right?
Like, them dudes from practice, like, on time. Like that man used to like try punk you and thing like you have to the man like them dude everything gonna like you like you have to be on with Muma Rudolph like they will test you check they're gonna test you to see like if you're built like if you really somebody like they could trust like we could trust you to be on this field with us.
Let me tell you something. Mumba is the only ninth grader who ever come to complex who had his own clique when he reached complex. I've never seen that in my life. Never, ever.
Guys.
Mumba, you made history.
Look, man. Hey, this is what happens when you're in a bad environment, man. Things happen. Things happen. Hey, take this attention.
We're going to love your
story. Yeah. We got a question from Lynn Leibor. If you had to do it all over from high school in whatever sport, what would you have done differently?
If I really and truly had it differently, I would boycott going to school in 10th grade. Really and truly. I mean, when I say it like that, I would have refused to my mother and father, like, I don't want to go to school. And it's not that I didn't want to go to school. Like, I felt like I had something I wanted to take off island. And I felt like I was just kind of settling, just being the dominant force I was and whatever I was. And just keep representing her, doing the best I could with whatever teammates, whoever it was. Let's go to war, And I think that would probably be my biggest thing, trying to get exposure from all year. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I really thought that would have been that would have been something I would have done differently. Try to at least get in America, get into some kind of school. You know, um, that's it.
That's a great answer because believe
Yeah.
me, it makes a difference. I know we don't really want to put down the Virgin Islands because all that we grew up here, but the fact is, you there in the States, man, you just get so much more exposure that even when I look back at my career, even though mine have been successful, and I have played against so many NBA players, even overseas, and so many of them come to me and like, dude, what team you play with the NBA? And I used to be like, I never played in the NBA. They'd be like, dude, you serious? Like, I never. But these man went Duke, these man went Connecticut, these man went DePaul, these man went to all these big school. And if
Yeah.
I could just do something over, I regret what I did, but if I could do something over, I'd have probably go to the States for 2 years for school and see
Yeah.
what life would have
I
brought.
mean, that's how I feel like when you have the level of talent that I felt like when I watch you play Tegan, you know what I'm saying? Like I felt like you had that talent. Like I always feel like that if you have this child of yours, we don't have the backdrop. We don't have like our explain to you all. If we used to throw tournaments and different things where now you have an international eye and you have like stateside teams coming to travel down here and stuff
Yeah,
like that. Then you could have a different story of people rating you and stuff like that. But if you feel like your child has that kind of level of talent, like I encourage that you try to get your child away from here to better the opportunity. I mean, we think like you just sending a child to America, but I mean America is like you would say our so-called big brother, you know. So if you want your child to survive, get a better understanding of this so-called world, you got to lose them out into that world. You could prep them
that's
the
right.
best you can, but you gotta give them opportunity to experience that world and experience growth.
Yeah. I want to piggyback on what you just said too. You guys touched on it earlier. I agree with you 100%. You know, you got to you have to send your kid to America. I think what the VI needs to do, and trust me, because my like Tiga mentioned earlier, my son is playing basketball, and he's playing travel basketball and stuff, and he's in the ninth grade, and he plays on the 11th grade team, and he plays on the 10th grade team, right? So up here is grades. They go by his grade, or we go by your age, 16U, 17U, whatever, whatever. And as a ninth grader, he's playing in exposure tournaments. So you go to these exposure tournaments, and you got scouts from all over the country. You know, scouts from all kind of schools, etc. So he have the opportunity as a ninth grader, even though they can't sign him until he graduate high school. He has the opportunity from a ninth grader for college scouts to see him. So if anybody who is interested in him, they find out what high school he goes to, and they could check up on him regularly every year. They could, like Sarah talk about, pitching with a velocity and keeping track and see how your velocity creep up the next year, etc. Is the same thing. They're able to see his growth. So if they're interested in him, they could follow him, etc., etc. And I think that the Virginians need to do something where they could have some teams in us, whatever sports they're competing in, to attend these exposure tournaments to give kids
It's similar.
opportunities
It's
to be
similar to
seen.
that team that Egan won. That was like an exposure team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That team
AB.
is
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
AB.
like that. Yeah, but it should be more because it's so many exposure tournaments that's going on. So it should be not just that one trip and that's it. It should be
But that's the
more
thing. You need to
regular.
get your funding because if you go to one, remember now, if you go to those tournaments, you trying to go to those tournaments like annual. You always carry them from 9 all the way to 12, and those tournaments can't just be like 1 or 2 tournaments a year. You trying to at
Yeah,
least get into 3 or 4 tournaments in a year. So you talking
exactly.
Yeah,
about like the spending of a travel team to leave from here to there, which I don't have a problem with.
yeah,
But you gotta get serious about the money that you have here to use it and utilize it for what it's supposed to be utilized for. And
and that's
if
it.
it's not going to be utilized for that, the only thing I could give you advice as a parent now is to get your child away because, like you saying, you wouldn't believe there are actually scouts and people and colleges that actually done checking your child from your child is in middle school, and middle school starts on 6th grade. they already have
Yeah.
charts on your child,
Yeah.
and if they feel like he's on that level, they're gonna check him from 6 to 7 to 8, and they're gonna be they you won't even realize until you get to like they actually come and talk to you that how much data they actually have on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true.
It's crazy.
I'm
It's
I'm
crazy.
Puerto Rico do that a lot because I be going to these tournaments and Puerto Rico they have two teams and they be coming all the time. They be coming all the time.
Remember,
So
let me tell you, every successful nation that produced athletes does that. The only
yeah,
place too that produce successful athletes is the Virgin Islands, and we're not doing that. And luckily now with Lorena, Livewire, and stuff like that, we're starting to get some data, but we need a lot more. We
yeah,
need a lot more of that. You
that's
know what I'm
true.
saying?
That's
But
true.
we are the only nation who have successful talent, and not just successful talent. You don't produce man like Tim Duncan and Harry Clark and all these different sports that were dominant in their perspective sport, but it never trickled down to keep developing the system. And until we understand that, dude, if we ain't gonna put in what we need for these youngsters to get, because like we say right now, we want to rush them to the states. But if we can put in the infrastructure to keep them here and keep developing them, because most of us really went to school here all of our life. I finished here in 12th grade, Parent, Tim Duncan, most of us who made it, Coffee. So we know that we can do it here. The problem is we don't have the exposure here.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So that's what Lavran is saying. If we can get that thing in place with the finance, keep taking teams to 3 and 4 and 5 tournaments a year and follow them through. Believe me, the Virgin Islands is
Yeah,
gonna be producing
eventually
way better
you
talent.
you build relationships with these people, so that's what you need. You need like certain relationships. I know some guys have travel teams, and I don't know if like I mean I'm glad that they have all these travel teams, but if you're gonna take travel teams, you gotta take travel teams to something meaningful. You have a meaningful tournament, and you also have a tournament for maybe like you have some of these guys who probably ain't there yet, that to that so-called level yet, but they could get to that level.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah,
you have to develop something, some kind of program. Like I'll tell you one thing. The department that you're working for right now, Tegan, is probably one of the most underfunded departments there
It
is.
is to this day.
And
Still
then on
is.
top of that, they don't try to say, well, we're gonna generate our own revenue just in case, because you are lacking balls, equipment, everything. You have a staff that is somewhat demoralized because like you are taking people and paying them 20,000 a year. Like what? Who survives off of 20,000 a year?
For
Like
40
you
years.
have to create,
For
yeah, you
40
have to
years.
create something.
yeah. We have
And that's what
we
I'm
have
saying.
some
The
Something.
we
disrespect in terms of the sports in the Virgin Islands, we don't think that it matters until we need it.
yeah,
And now COVID is out. Now everybody's realizing which sports park or recreation there. Because this is an intricate part in our culture. And that's a big problem.
yeah. We got some questions I want to get to. We have this question from Lorena. This is for all three of us. So you guys could answer this. Um, do you think y'all sacrifice y'all careers by staying here for sports?
To for me,
You
I
go first,
mean,
Ted.
I'd say to an extent. Like we just talk about exposure. Even up to this day, think for me, I still playing ball. I just won a volleyball championship last year, setting a thing in the man league over here. I still travel to Tortora. Like they basically send for me like to play ball. Um, they asked me to come Arizona. Like whatever team playing ball, if they feel like it's ball to be played and they could have me, they gonna call me. So and I 38 now, and I really feel like I could have actually played major league ball. I know for sure I could have do it. I know for sure
Definitely.
I could have hit. You know, um, I still got some speed. Ain't the 4.2, 4.3 speed it used to be, but I probably could still run a 16, like a 6.7. which is decent time, you know. So my body still is there. I felt like I could have do it, but you know, just opportunities you let slip away, lack of knowledge to an extent. Um, and you
That's
could
it.
say just
That's
giving up.
important what you just said.
You
Lack of
could just say
knowledge.
like giving up. Because at the end of the day, when you look at it, like some of us who just didn't make it there, even though like we didn't have the knowledge or the understanding together. Like like for me, like when I basically just college quits out of college and ball, I was only like my daughter was just basically being born. I was like 22, 23. I was still
Yeah, you were
young.
22. Yeah,
It
that
was
was
it
what
was, it was
2003.
so serious. It was so serious, right? That the Los Angeles Angels came here when I was 27. I'll say maybe I was 27, 28, maybe. Let's say 27. And they had a showcase in the stadium. And after I went through my entire showcase, hitting, throwing, they pulled me to the side. They were like, "Yo, like, where you been hiding? Like, what's your name? This and that." And they had my card, everything. Wanted to give me an invitation to spring training. And the minute I told them, like, "Yo, I'm like 27, 28," like the conversation just cut. They were like, "Yeah, you too old.
At that
You
age,
probably
yeah.
don't even have like another 4 years." Because, like I said, in the minors, you might spend 2 to 3 years in the minors before you get to the
Yeah,
pros.
two to
So
Yeah.
three,
all of that they
even more.
calculated like he might not get to the bigs until like 32. What we have then left, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I had like I say approached things maybe different or felt like I was mostly like thinking about pitching because it was always in my head. I was dominant. People were always talking about pitching, not realizing like I could have flat out hit. Like I could have flat out bat. You know, I could have hit to any side of the field. I could have hit like Richie would always beat me most likely in batting average. But when it comes to slugging percentage, extra base hits, doubles, me having stolen bases, that's like more my effect to the game. And I had such a big effect and I didn't realize like I actually had that effect, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean that's basically it.
You want
Mumbai,
to?
you want to go?
For me, yeah, as I got to the US and college and playing professional baseball and stuff like that, I realized that, definitely sacrifice your career and stuff like that. It kind of opens up your mind a lot when you play sports in America and realize the many opportunities you have playing sports up here. Being a lot, and again, you know, Larena said, and some people said it in the chat. It's about opportunity, man. If you prepare that you have the opportunity, good things gonna happen. So and you get the exposure. So, and that's why Tiga, that's why I create this basketball, not create, but that's why I'm coaching up here, just because if somebody from the Virgin Islands have a kid and he could get exposure, then he could come and play on the team and he have an opportunity to play and get exposed. And I think people don't realize, and I learned this playing professional baseball, people don't realize if you have a talent and a scout loves this kid and he's from the Virgin Islands, they're gonna come. If they come and see this kid and they start to see the other talents, it's gonna open up their eyes and then the word of mouth spread. They have friends. They have a lot of friends in different sports and different teams. They'll be like, "Hey, you need a pitcher? We have this kid Sarauw. He's a lefty. He's a lefty. He's showing 90 to 94." And then they'll come down and take a look at him. They might see Richie hitting and they'll be like, "Hey, you looking for a hitter?" And then a word of mouth spread, and that's how you get opportunity and you get people to come to the island. You understand? And that's how things happen. And then like Laverne talk about it earlier. You build a connection, and then you have a connection, and then the next thing you know, a scout or a team might be like, "Hey, we have these schools, we're gonna bring them down so that you guys can host a tournament. We're gonna bring these kids down. We want to see these kids play against our kids to see how they're gonna match up with our competition." And then stuff like that happens, and then you generate a lot of looks and a lot of opportunities for kids, just like that too. So it's important, man. Once everybody help each other, it's good things will happen.
I mean, in terms of me and I have a different perspective because, like Sarauw said, we had CB. We used to travel a lot. You know what I'm saying? So in my generation, we really did have a lot of exposure. The problem is my education level in terms of understanding what school you go to and the conference. I didn't know nothing about these schools. You know what I'm saying? Like how the states know. I just know everybody was D1, and I thought everybody was playing at that kind of equal playing field. So once I was at
Yeah.
D1, I was like, it was fair game. But I mean, see, we will tell you, I had a lot of school after me, like very big Division One. I had Rhode Island, um, we had Miami, we had DePaul, Jacksonville, Stetson, FIU. I mean, so I did have an opportunity to go to a big school, but I just didn't have the education to choose. Once I went to Jacksonville, I kind of just fell in love with the coach because he coached Dominique Wilkins. He coached the University of Georgia. He was just such a good guy. And he said one thing to me that I really love. He said, look, I ain't giving you shit. Can I say that on all podcasts? He said, look, if you come to my school, if you work for what you want, you will be rewarded. If you don't work, you're gonna get. And that was it for me. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
wanted that because I wanted to prove myself, and that resonated in me. And that's why I choose Jacksonville. I didn't even went on no other visit. I didn't go to Rhode Island. I didn't go to FIU where Carlos Arroyo and Roger Bell was at the time. I just stopped all visited because I just love what his coach said. And to his credit, he's a Hall of Fame coach, one of the top 5 winningest coaches in the whole NCAA. Could I have gone to a better school? Yes. But do I regret it? Not really, because he was true to his word. I was the only freshman to start all 4 years, which seldomly happened. I had the red shirt a year. Don't get me wrong. I break my foot my first year. I had the red shirt a year. But after I came back from my red shirt, I started all 4 years. I became one of the top 5 players in my school history, top 3 in assists, top 5 in points, top 2 in steals. I mean, the only question I got is like, damn, why Jacksonville University hasn't retired my jersey yet? This is bullshit. I'm sending a call out to
Oh my
Jacksonville
God.
University. I was better than D Brown. I was better than all these boys. I need to get my jersey retired. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I just say the education was just not there for me in terms of the gravity of the school. The school make a difference. If I went to a bigger school, I even had before when I joined, and I swear to God, when I signed with Jacksonville, CB called me and tell me, you know who just called that they wanted to see you? Georgetown. Allen Iverson was getting ready to go to the number 1 draft pick, and they needed to replace a point guard. And Georgetown wanted me to come for a visit. So it was crazy. I mean, I just didn't understand the gravity in terms of the recruitment, the school,
Hey,
the
who the turn
prestige.
down Georgetown?
Only
Huh?
T, only
Something wrong with
Tegan.
that boy, mama. Who the turn down Georgetown?
Only Tegan.
I don't sign. I don't
You'd have
sign.
still turn them down. You'd have still turn them down.
No, no,
They
no.
only
But I
say
love
I
Charleston.
respect on top
Allen
of.
Iverson, if you remember in school, was one of my favorite players. And I don't know if you remember they had a lefty, Victor Page. Do
Yeah,
you
Victor
remember?
Page, yeah.
Oh, he was a monster. So I mean, I would have definitely take that visit. But I had done side with Jacksonville University.
Yeah. I have this question for both. This is for for you and Sarauw, and it's from Lynn. Do you think it's possible and beneficial for the VI to produce proper AAU teams to participate nationally through the SPR department?
Sports Park and Recreation. Yeah, I mean, look, before COVID, I'll answer that first because before COVID, I had already spoken to Commissioner White. We are already ready to take a 9th grade team and a 10th grade team, just like we were talking about all night, to travel. We were going to go to a couple AAU and then Walt Disney, where you was. Remember, I came that one year, Mumbai, you
Yeah.
saw. We were going to start that back so that the kids then will have at least 3 years of recruiting time. So we had that in the plan. The team was getting farmed, and man, COVID. If it's any, if COVID had a very bad timing, it was really last year. COVID is just a monster. I mean, it messed up a lot of our plans. But if we get back to some type of normalcy, we definitely would try to do it again and try to get the best team. One of the greatest thing about CB, and I was giving a lot of praise in my time. I know it's different now because they do have a couple of traveling teams traveling from St. Croix and St. Thomas, but it's not the best collection of talent, and that's the problem. You are taking too good from here, two from here, two from here, two from here, and you don't have the best collection. We have to get back to the best collection. When it was CB time, we was getting the best of the best, regardless of what. If St. Thomas have 9 are the best players in the BI, we taking 9. If St. Croix have 7 of the best players in the BI, we taking 7. It ain't no equal thing about, oh, let me take 6 from St. Croix and 6 from. No, it's not about that. It's about you taking the best available talent so these youngsters can be seen. If St. Thomas needs to up their game in their talent, they need to up their game. If St. Croix need to up their game, let them up their game. This thing is cyclical. One year St. Thomas is gonna have the best talent, the next year St. Croix. Nobody never have the same. But we are so caught up in, oh, they take 9 from this, or they take this and this. We are so divided. You can't do that. Take and I for me, looking from baseball, I don't know what it is. You guys can educate me. Baseball never got together. When I see a St. Thomas team going Lily to play and then a St. Croix, why you guys never get together and put the best team? That makes no sense. Puerto Rico does it. DR does it. All these other nations does it. But then you taking just a St. Croix team and St. Croix team is. We need to take grown adults need to just take the damn politics out of this shit and just put the kids them first. Period. And that's it.
Well said. Well said. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, well
Go ahead,
said.
Sarah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope um that it could be something possible. But like we always talking about this funding, because if I remember when I was walking housing park, I think Lynn was walking housing park at the same time, and Lynn probably did want to try mention like a program about high school recruiting and probably taking like the best high schoolers in certain sports to these tournaments or whatever it is. And I really don't know if anything ever happened. I mean, I should say I don't know, but nothing ever really came out or happened out of it. It's like people gonna tell you, yeah, but it's if you're gonna help us, like okay, for instance, there's no reason a tourist-based economy should not have travel money.
You're right.
I
It's true.
think me personally, I don't know what the
I
contract
agree.
is or whatever.
No,
I
I
I
think
agree.
me
agree.
personally,
That's facts.
every EDC company here in these islands, everyone should have a responsibility. And when I mean a responsibility, you are allotted to uh your first quarter, because you have to allot money for them for in the first quarter so they could know how to spend their money. Like from the time they coming in and you want an EDC company, this is your responsibility. Okay, every year you gotta donate a certain amount of money to Griffith Park, or you gonna donate a certain amount to this program or to this travel team. We have entirely too many EDC businesses living here basically tax free, money free, making the wall of money off of the Virgin economy, and the Virgin economy is not receiving anything from it.
Exactly.
So I
And
feel like if travel teams are going to happen, we can't want to rely on the government, because the government already in a hole. You more or less gonna have to rely on somehow, somewhere it being mandated that these companies have to allot some sort of money out of their thing. 'Cause it's gonna be a tax write off any which way. Ain't like you bleeding a company for money. It's a tax write off, because all of these gonna be non-profit organizations. You're basically donating to anyway. You know what I'm saying? Especially like you donate the government and stuff as far as equipment and things like that. At least it's a help. At least now you could now take, and the money you spending all over, you could now increase people's salaries from 20 to 28 starting, or 32 starting. You know, you could take money and move money around, but
yes.
it's a hard thing. Like right now, like I tell you straight up, not because in um my sister is part of this Senate committee or whatever. But this is one of the few Senate committees I've seen in a long time that has been trying to dig up and find out where is this money going to? Where has this money gone? Because think about it. Me and you, we thief that kind of money, we're going to jail. A
Yep,
public official thief that kind of money, probation,
that's
payback.
right.
Or when you look now, they get not a big job in some other company. How does this happen?
Exactly.
After you already done thief so much money from people. So it's like even up to that, I think like that part of the law need to change because like they have so many other things that are important out there and they focusing on things that like really ain't important. Like okay, for instance, right? Um, we already know dog fighting was illegal and everything. You know, board fighting has been a part of the culture since we born,
They
before we were born, or whatever.
Yeah,
There's
part of
nothing in that
history.
culture right now around the community that is causing a hamper to the community. So why are you making it a big front page issue to you want to give people 5 years for this? But you have people stealing endless of money from your stuff. You don't see the FBI coming here. They ain't even trying to send it out to say, well, we want this thing control. We need our money so we could do something with our money, not our money just sailing all over the place and we have no idea where it's going or not. So that's
that's
one of our biggest problems, like a funding issue. Like we have
that's
people
all.
that want to do things, people that want to get dedicated, but we have a funding issue.
But let me piggyback on what you say, Mumba, because I have a non-profit organization and I run kids. Even when I spend my own money, Mumba will tell you I run before I start working with Sports Park. I only start. People think I work with Sports Park all my life. I only start this year, though. Last year, I've been running leads for the past 10 years. Actually, from since 2005 with Man Lead when I was playing professionally, but since I retired. And I know how hard it is to get money from these EDC companies. And one of the things I always stress to a lot of senators, that EDC law needs to be changed because it's very easy to set up non-profit organization in the Virgin Islands. So what most of these EDC companies are doing, they are setting up subsidiaries in terms of having like a fake non-profit, and all they're doing is just giving their own self the money, and that's the
Oh, okay, I
problem.
got you.
What they
Yeah,
need to do is to have that money channel either to one fund and let sports park and recreation control that type of funding. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
sports park can disperse the fund to all these different non-profit organizations. They need to find a way that these EDC companies can't just create all of these fake, I call them fake because they ain't doing nothing for the Virgin Islands. They creating all of these fake non-profit organizations and just giving themselves the same money and then do what they gotta do. It's the same concept that Bill Gates did. He used to run Microsoft. He created his own non-profit organization with the Bill and
yeah,
Melinda Gates Foundation, and he basically donated all the money to his damn self, and he's
yep.
controlling everything. These
It's true.
EDC companies are doing the same damn thing. We in the Virgin Islands have a right to change that law, and until we can get that law changed, all these EDC companies are getting away with murder. They don't do nothing for sports in the Virgin Islands, and that's a big problem.
It's a big problem. That's crazy, man. That's sad.
It's insane, and that's
It's
facts. That's
insane.
what they did.
Yeah, that's the reality of it, man. Like even up
It
to
is.
something as simple as Banco Popular sponsor what am I call it scoreboard years ago. That was 10 years ago, something like that, 15 years ago. And scoreboard gone even before the hurricane, or I can't remember after the hurricane, you ain't never had a scoreboard back on there again.
It's
Like
crazy.
simple things that like you gave me, like you really gonna tell me that we are not going to hold some people accountable for living in our area. Like you can't go to Tola, you can't go to basically no other country outside that is not a US country and state that um you can go in there and do nothing or whatever without giving back to their community. It's impossible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They don't do that in Puerto Rico. They damn sure don't do it in Tatola. Banco Popular sponsor everything in Tatola
And
because they
everything
know.
in Puerto Rico too. In Puerto Rico
Yeah,
too.
KFC,
Yep.
McDonald's, all of
I,
them, they have to
that's
sponsor.
And then
that was
you
gonna
get
be my next question for you
you
guys.
get heads just reopen back. Then you get what I think about it is the whatever it is are building the distillery.
Yeah.
Like these people have they are generating millions of dollars. Just put some of it back in the community.
I was gonna ask you guys about that too,
Yes,
about
we change
the
that
different
community
businesses.
where they can give back to a general fund, and I believe they should do it through sports park and recreation, and sports park and recreation kind of disperse the fund to all the nonprofit. That's in my ear. Somebody can have a better idea. They cannot keep creating all of these smaller subsidiary nonprofit organization and just give it to themselves, because that's what they're doing. They ain't doing nothing but just giving the money to themselves and saying, "Yeah, I go give $1,000 to a fish fry. I go sponsor a troop during carnival," and then they keep all the millions. That's what they're doing. This is trick or treat, and they just got with like a fool. And our officials them ain't realize that this is what these people doing. They ain't giving back nothing to us, and that's a big problem.
It's a big problem, man. It's a major problem. Wow.
Any questions, Mumba?
No, that was no more questions in the chat. That was those questions. That was some good questions, So shout out to the people and everybody in the chat, asking those questions, some real good questions, creating some good dialogue, good conversation, important conversation,
Hey, my
you know.
kids would kill me if I didn't shout out my little league team, Pirates.
I was gonna ask you. Go
Those
ahead, yeah.
champion are
Do your
you?
shout outs. Do your shout
Yeah.
outs, man. You
Yeah,
could
I gotta
call
shout
each
out my
name if you
little
want
league
to.
team, Pirates. I guess so many like kids I coach over the years. Shout out to them too. Shout out to my kids. Like I say, shout out to my class of 2000 because through all of this, like they always been around. I mean, up to this day, like we still be in our group chat. Like,
Nice.
that's probably one of the best experiences I had in life. Like graduating with my class. Like
That's
we
big
were a
time.
class that was just
Yeah.
merely most of us we were tight. We were all like together. Um, so there's a lot of love. You know, um, man, you can't even shout out to everybody. I mean.
Do you have any words you would like to give to the youths who coming up? Because I know we're getting close to the end of
Um,
our interview. Any shout out to you know the future generation of Virgin Islanders?
I mean, yeah, I mean, for the future generation, I mean, we, we, me, you, Mumba, we are somewhat the future, because we can't allow things to die with us. You know what I'm saying? Most of our culture, if you realize it, I always say this, me personally, I don't think St. Croix have a little more culture base than St. Thomas. We have become a little more Americanized than St. Croix. And I think like we can't allow things to die out. We can't allow to where we come from as a people, our culture. Yeah, we all know
Fact.
that things we have become diverse as far as you have more people from other islands, Hispanics, Haitians, but it's still your culture, it's still what you live by. You can't give it up. And I don't just mean as far as like your butter bread, Johnny cake and cheese and then kind of thing. I talking about your main stuff as far as like I always say I old school. I probably wasn't the best um child growing up, very disgusting and stuff like that. But it still took people to raise me. It
That's
didn't
right.
just take my mother and father. Like anybody down the road could have disciplined me. Anybody could have tell me what was right, what was wrong. Especially my coaches. Like my father used to
Fact.
coach me in the league, and I was asking him if he gonna try to come coach in the league, and he's like, "Nah, the choice is yours. You make the choice based on who you feel could take you to the next level of the game." And
Yeah.
he loosed me. You know what I'm saying? Feeling that somebody else could look out for me. Nowadays, you have parents out there, and the minute you did to a game or you know where you walk in on the practice and you get on a chair like, man, you know better, bam, bam, bam. Like this parent wants to kill you. They want to go on like you must not talk to my child like that. But how is your child going to get better? How are you prepping them for the real world when you
Exactly.
think that they don't have to answer to nobody besides you? That's wrong. For me, I
Mm,
tell you straight up, I always tell my daughter, I don't care who you, I mean, where you at, what going on. An adult talk to you, they cost you, they make whatever scene. Once they don't rest their hand on you, you don't have nothing to tell them, man, because you're still a child. You take that, you let me take that up with them. You understand what I'm
mm,
saying? But at the same time, I always tell her, like, everybody, I don't care if the person is a year older than you, months older than you, or a decade older than you. You always show the person older than you respect, and that's something I believe in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you get some people that we have it out, but at the end of the day, I gonna have that respect for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you've experienced more than me. You most of the time probably seen this before you've seen it. Probably seen it in a different scenario, but you have an understanding. So who is me to just disregard the person who is older or the person who's trying to look out for my child? Like right now, like I said, like my sister coached my daughter, and I could care less who coached my daughter. Once I feel like you guiding her down the road, she coming home feeling like you pushing her that extra mile, I could live with that.
mm.
Yeah,
I
that's so
could live
true.
with that. Like I remember, for instance, this guy was, I guess, was bothering my child, and she turned around and hit him a cuff after he hit her neck. You know, so I come to school and she was crying and thinking like I was gonna do her something. I was like, yo, I teach you, don't let nobody rest their hands on you. Especially if it's like you're in that sport or moment, you can't get
Mm.
wherever you already talk to the teacher. So it's like you give and you take. It's not that you try and teach your child violence, but at the same time you try and teach your child like you can't let nobody to walk over you.
Yeah, protect
You know,
yourself.
you can't like back in the days. I remember I used to hear this story about my grandfather, my grandmother, my great grandmother. My father go downstairs and do a party harass him, beat him up, whatever it is, take whatever. And she asks, like, you fight back? He like, nah, like, well, go back out the house. Like, she literally last
Yeah.
my father out the house. Go
That's
downstairs,
real
defend yourself, and then when we
talk.
done, we're going to
Yeah,
patch up your cut them and everything. But I guarantee you, after that day, and you defend yourself, they ain't gonna be harassing you like that. You might lose it.
Yeah.
The man ain't gonna be down there harassing you like that. And eventually, them same people will come to be a friend. You know, them same people you're gonna be able to talk them into becoming more positive or something like that. Because really and truly, most of my friends I have now who's still around is the dude that I play Little League ball with, the dude that went Boy Scout with, the man that I play BD with. Because it was like an inter-island thing. I could go into any neighborhood, I meet you. So like right now as a coach, like if I have to drop a child home or I have to go for a child in a neighborhood, like I ain't shook. I don't feel no way. Cause people like, hey, my boy, sorry, what going on? Safe for what? And then people be like,
Yeah.
wow. And then the children be like, I didn't know that. You had know these man like that. Like them is bad man. These man have guns and things in there, but we have that
Yeah.
kind of respect for each other. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
that's
that's
how it
true.
is. So sports took me a long way. Sports is like the thing now. I could leave here and go from Boro to Red Hook, any community. I could come St. Croix and Lyman Sarah Farm. I could go down with Wim. If for any reason my cousin then take me over Campo Rico, I could cool in Campo Rico. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like I could go any place, and all of this is based on me just playing sports, meeting the people I
Yeah.
met through
Yeah.
sports. So to me, it was such a big avenue. Some of my friends now. I have a friend. He was in the Air Force. He's a motivational speaker. Some of my classmates. It's all of these. Is like sports was like such a big avenue for me. And I didn't realize it until like I became older. The stuff I probably could have taken advantage of coming up the line as I got older. So the most you could tell a child now is like they think now that when you speak to them is chastising and they crawl into a shell. But the main point is that they have to realize is nobody, and it's a true statement. Nobody is going to speak to you. Nobody is going to waste time, words, effort, nothing on you if like they didn't care.
That's right. That's
When they
right.
don't care, they're gonna shut you out. They're gonna watch
That's
you. They're
right.
gonna say no man, I know. They're gonna watch you like you like a virus.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's so
So
true, man.
Man, I'm so impressed with you tonight. I ain't even like. I am so impressed. I mean, you're even better than advertised in terms of just your humbleness and your humility and how well you've been raised. I have just know that your parents did an excellent job with you and your
That's
full
pretty good.
circle in terms of becoming the person you are today. I mean, that's why this podcast is so important because we're going through this period where we're in COVID-19 and every other week we hear somebody getting shot and this, and you just feel sometimes like you don't have nobody out there who the next generation can look up to and follow. And this will show there are people out there who looking for the next generation, like yourself and myself and Mumba. There's a lot of us out there. Yes, there are always going to be something happening. There's beef here and there, but the fact is, when you put yourself out there to show that you actually care, it makes a difference to the next generation because they ain't gonna follow you and listen to you unless they realize that you care about them. Like I said, man, St. Thomas is in good hands, man. It's been an extremely great pleasure listening to you. I can't wait to come back and look for you. I can look for you. If I do that.
I always are wrong. That's one thing.
Hey,
Let's go.
a question just pop up. A question just pop up. Dwayne asks if you could have been a college DB or a wide receiver.
Who asked that question?
Dwayne Juice
Maduro.
Maduro, yeah.
Is that the Maduro that played for Charlotte Amal?
Well, really and truly, right? I ain't gonna even lie to you. When I played football, my number was 21.
Deion Sanders.
Because really and truly, okay, I'm gonna tell you a story, right? This is a true story.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'll answer you just now. This is a true story. In 11th grade, the last year of flag football, right? I was such an athlete, such a hunger. I had a flu. I probably had dengue fever or something. I literally had the flu homecoming day. I live in Bodo, and Bodo is like, say you try and catch a ride from dead west to say like Complex or something like that, around that area. So I in Bodo, I homesick like a dog, but this is homecoming. And I refuse to lose to Charlotte Amali. So game start 5 o'clock. I am up on the bus stop, sweating beads, drinking water, get one of them cold rag and all kind of ice in a cooler under umbrella, trying to catch a ride to homecoming. I reach homecoming, right? And a teacher name is Petty. Miss Petty tell me, but what are you doing here? I had missed a test for that day, you know. Miss Petty tell me, if we lose this game, I can't see you passing US history. So really, I want a big test with a test on Africa or something like that. So she tell me, like, yeah, I can't see you passing this or whatever it is. So I take myself out here, dying as I was dying, had 3 interceptions, returned 1 for a touchdown, had a lot of deflections. Like I was like prime time, like I was lockdown cornerback, and I feel like Juice say, like if I pursue it, I couldn't do it. Like I feel like in volleyball, football, baseball, like I couldn't do anything. The only reason I never considered myself to be whoever I was in basketball, it was just recreation. I was good at it because I was playing amongst trees, dude.
Yeah.
Like I was playing amongst trees. I think it was a game. Mumba them were playing Coffee them right in Central Gym. And Coffee rested on all of them. And I think this ain't no league. I be lying, brother.
Wait, Mama, you tell me about that one. Tell me about.
I rested at the whole of them. He come down the middle. I think he passed Naibo. They had a dude, Raul or Ruel or whatever his name was.
Raul.
Yeah. He pick up chest to chest. Raul Mumba on the side. Somebody else was down there. He put it on the whole squad, brother. And then
I don't like how he talking right now.
Yeah, Coffee was a big. I mean,
no. Yeah, I joking.
On a different play. And then the next play, the man backdoor one to Mountain, and Mountain catch it over them, man, bam, and I was like, no man, this ain't for real, man. You know, so like
you do know Coffee was a complex man.
I believe I could have done it in the college level. I believe I could have been a quarterback at the college level. I was good at it, like, and I had this guy named Harvey. He had trained me. I was good at, like I said, I had a gift, like a natural gift. So I would catch on. He just show it to me one time. I didn't need 2, 3, 4 times. One time. Sometimes you even show me. I could see you showing it to a man in an example, and he do it wrong, and you telling him how to do it right. And you better believe I'm going to and I'm going to do it
The
like
right way.
150. Yeah, I'm going to do it. But I believe
That's
I could. I really think like I maybe could have do it, but it wasn't. It was like street ball to me, basketball, football. That was like recreation. That was just something to do. Something to say like yeah, and I like I said, in my competitive nature, I used to take it at them dude who used to consider the sport was theirs.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? This is my sport. Well, check me. I am the
That's
opposite.
right. I mean, that's mad stats you say, though. 3 interception, 1 return for a touchdown. That's
Lots
a
of
Yeah.
mad stat.
perfections.
That's mad
So
stats. I
I
know
was
Charlotte
able
Mali was very
to
pissed.
take my test over again. She re-administered my test to me.
Big she up there. Shout
I
out to
like
her,
that. I
man.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boomer, man. Take me home. Let me know. We had the 3 hour mark. You thought it would have been 3 hours with us?
All
All
right,
right.
hold up.
Nah, I ain't talk at all.
Richie
I
just pop
tell
a
you, these
question
man
in.
don't stop when it comes to time. These man you believe we is like
Richie just pop a question. Richie just pop a question in.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Ask him about the finger roll from the free throw line.
Oh God, man.
For the future life.
Yeah. Julius Orbin type.
Hey, you can come let me tell a story here for real.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I can't remember how old he was, by 40, 50, somewhere around that area. And Richie father live in Boro, Joe Clennon, and live Boro. So we on the court playing a game a day. And Richie's and I don't know if you're my team or the opposite team or whatever. But Richie pulls a move and takes a 1-2 step and takes off from the free throw line. I tell you, and finger roll it, you know, and they drop, you know.
That's crazy. I saw German guy be his favorite player.
Up to this day, I still remember that like it was yesterday.
That's funny.
I think we didn't even finish the game. We laughed
That
so
is-
hard, and we just ended up just stopping the game.
That is funny. Oh
And, you
my
know,
god.
Richie always been chunky, so ain't like Richie had a glide, you know, pussy. So when he take that 1-2, like everybody paused, cause we were trying to figure out where is he going, like what he gonna do. You know, we had a 10-foot rim. We gonna play the rim. And my finger roll, a nice left hand finger roll, and you know what it is? Just kiss off the back of the rim and then just go up and then just drop in nets alone. One of them.
Richie went in the zone. He went in the zone.
Richie went something.
Richie went in the zone.
The game never.
Richie, that's a fluke shot. I ain't gonna lie to you. Use my brother. That's a fluke.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. But honestly, man.
One more thing, man. I got to
go
about my coach Bello. He was one of probably the greatest baseball minds around, and he used to fuel my fire, man. He was so into the game. Like when I and doubling. If I pitch, I would bat 9, like a normal pitch. I would, and I would cuss out career, and I would argue with him like, "Why I batting 9?" And he was like, "Yo, I need you to concentrate on pitching. I can't have you concentrating on pitching and then trying to drive in runs. Like your game ain't gonna be on." And I kind of like my first 2 games, I was like pissed, but then I got to understand where he was coming from and stuff like that, you know. Joel Fleming, I mean, for you to work in basketball, like people don't understand, you know. When we play basketball for you to work in, right? Thinking you play against us, you know, you ain't gonna get us tired. That's one thing. You don't reckon does not get tired. And we ran 2 miles. We like every practice, we ran 2 miles. That was guaranteed. You had to run 2 miles before practice. When you're done, you run in a set of stairs in the gym, about like 15 or 20 of them. When you're done that, you gotta run sprints and suicides. After that, you gotta make 25 layups in a row from each side before practice officially starts.
Yes, sir.
That was just before it starts. And when we play like Antilles, Saints, any private school, we will run 2 miles before that game. And you can't lay up the ball. Everything is a jumper. So if you're a big man and you know your range is that dotted line right there in the middle or something, you're on a fast break, you better pull up or you're going to sit on the bench for the whole game.
Wow.
Yeah, Fleming
Like
is a
they would
legend.
just see your
That's one of my favorite coaches. Too. He was a legend.
starters wouldn't start. Starters would play. We would never play the first half. You would play like a couple minutes in the third quarter, and that was basically it. Everybody else would just play. You come in and you just be like a role player. But for me, at the time when I was like in 12th grade, I was like the gunman. So I come in, give me a couple minutes. I get at least 12 to 14 and then for you, and then I come back to see
Let it fly.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, but big up Fleming, man. Fleming was always one of my favorite coaches, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
one
big
of
I mean,
my
I got
favorite
that from
coaches.
my father.
He and Estrell. I just love Estrell too from Charlotte Tamale. I can never forget him. Estrell, a very good mind himself too. So,
Yeah,
big up
very
to
well.
both.
So, yeah, man. So, hey, man. One thing I want to say, right? Sarauw is one of the reasons why I ended up playing college baseball. I'm
Why?
gonna leave it at. I'm gonna tell you this. Remember when we was in Orlando for RBI and we were playing Puerto Rico, we was getting blown out. So I think Elmo put me to pitch and I was pitching and because I was trying hard and you told me that, man, you know how hard you were trying? You were trying like 93, 94 miles an hour. You see all them scouts back there with the gun? I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah. And you were a little frustrated because you weren't finding the zone of force. And I'm like, yo, my boy, just relax. And you just cut it loose. I don't see nobody who could hit what you throwing out there.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
And
So,
he said along and you were throwing strikes. But
I'm gonna leave it at.
I would have never think that would have inspired you to play back. Because the first time I meet you on a basketball court.
Yeah.
That's the first time I meet you on a baseball field, but I mean little league, but years bypass and I had meet you on one time, I don't know if you remember this Tegan, this is a true story, We were playing in our invitational tournament. We play Mumba them, I think I read Mumba and I play. You went to go pass the ball. And I must come off the wing and I get a clean steal and I going down. And all this time I know I could touch like midway up the halfway up the square or whatever it is,
Yeah.
I come in on a break, and I in my head saying, yeah, I gonna try rest it at Mumba. But then I turn coward, my boy, and I said to myself, man, I'm gonna just try put it high off the glass. Well, I put it high. I put it high. When I tell you I put it high, I put it in the rafters. Me, you know how Mumba catch it, Mumba catch it and stick it against the glass,
Yeah,
but
I remember that.
Make up my mind, but it never happened, But I make up my mind if I ever catch him and I break like that again, he'd have to
dunk it.
I was going to the rim.
I know you'd have dunked it.
He's a chaser. He liked to chase down a black man. He used to do that to Bogus all the time with practice. Bogus used to be so fit. He could chase me down. I should take you pointer.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, the reason why I said that about the baseball and the reason why I play catch base because it's important. It's very important. So I'm gonna leave it as that. So when I tell my story, you got to listen because it's important, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm forever grateful because it changed my life. What you told me that day, honestly, and like I was giving Tegan his flowers, all when the show starts and stuff like that. People don't realize, like, if you Levron from St. Thomas, I from St. Croix, and you guys talked about how sports, build camaraderie and you build friendship and you have friendship forever and stuff like that, and that situation right there, man, it changed my life, honestly, a real talk, and I'm forever grateful. I just want to say thank you, man. I really appreciate it. And when you hear my story, then you're gonna understand why. You're gonna understand why because it's Tegan is gonna blow your mind too. It's a crazy story. It's crazy.
What's the story again? Episode 33?
I don't know. So soon. I got to get his sister on. I gotta get VLA on. I gotta get some people on. So, but I'm forever grateful. Big up to Neg.
One of the best hitters I ever see at them times, brother. You couldn't say Mumba without saying Tyrone Lake, Neg.
That's true.
The sort of names you to remember because it was just that good.
That was just that good. Big up to Neg, Tyrone Lake. That's Tegan cousin. That's Tegan cousin.
The man, Tegan, that's your cousin, right? Your cousin got a daughter, right? I see she plays Saba, Neg daughter, right? She get potential, brother.
She's
good.
Man.
Yeah. Sarauw, we almost forget. Big up to Richie. Don't forget the top 5. Tegan, before we leave.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So you gotta give me your top 5 all-time baseball player from St. Thomas and your top 5 major leagues before we go. Let we know who inspire you, both at home and both on the major leagues. And tell me why.
um,
Tell me why. For some of the people them who never see these guys play.
but I mean, my number one will actually be like my father, because my father used to watch play a lot of soccer when I grew up. He introduced me to the game. He get me wanting to play the outfield. He made the outfield seem fun, running on ball, throwing out man, those kind of stuff. He taught me a lot of the all the nuances of the game. Trying to hit a ball the opposite way. When I used to step away, like my father used to just drive me ball, and I never learned to play with a spongy ball or a tennis ball. I learned off a hard ball alone. So the man would literally just drive me ball, stay in the box, stay in the box. You can't be running, them kind of thing. So it made me tough. Um, Believe it or not, I never see this next one play like that. I never see him play at all, but just wore him out. He was just a legend to me, and I was Robbie.
Robbie Small.
Big up,
Um,
Robbie.
Yeah.
my brother used to tell me, like, when I used to try to get up in the stadium to watch Robbie play, me and Robbie went wild them times and stuff like that. My mother used to be like, nah, you can't go watch Robbie play, and because you know how he's this and he's that. So I never got a chance to see him play. But for the legends and the stories, like his stories had me itching to want to be something. I won't say I wasn't as unblemished as Robbie, because I had man knock me out of the park. I've lost certain games and stuff like that. And he was like leaps and bounds ahead of his people at that time. But I know I had something, because you know it is like you pitching, and a man probably didn't even get a hit off of you, but he like, yeah, he won't strike me out. He bragging that he ain't get strike out. So
Wow.
it's just a feat that
That's
like you
dominant.
make
Yeah.
contact. Basso, Elgin Yepsen. You are a total player, he was one of those guys who I learned the game from, as far as there are different ways to affect the game. Um, this man, I remember a game. I heard stories. I seen him play before. I tried against him the year before, but I remember a game. He must have hit a home run after this guy, and he used to go out with a lot. So he pull up the bat and he holster it like a sword. Stand up at attention, drop the bat, take off his helmet, put it underneath his shoulder, like whatever. He running around the bases, and that the stadium have the like poles in it. He's
Yeah.
running like all the way close to the like poles next to the dugout and thing. And I old school. I was only like 17. I in the stadium, like I in the center field, like, yeah, I ain't in that F with him, my son. I get a ball next game. I want the ball, I want. Again, I would have Latino. The next game we face them, man, I probably drive Basso 2 ball, rib cage for fun, knowing, but he understand that was part of the game. And he understood that, okay, if I go happen, you know what he do? Each at bat, I think he steals second at all base.
Wow.
Wow.
So he showed me like, okay, I gonna do my thing. I know you gonna do this thing, but I coming back here to do this thing here. What's your answer for that?
That's
So
part of the game.
he showed me like it was to be like a 5 tool athlete, like run, um, the knowledge, baiting people into sometimes they want to do something and you baiting like, oh, you had me fooled, and the next pitch is bam out the park. But I thought I had him fooled the pitch before, you know. Um, Growing up, I say like Peas were one of them too, man. Raheem, like Peas used to make things feel like they were possible, because Peas were big like me. At 12 years old, I went far apart in size. He basically dominated. He lived the 12 tournament. He dominated his years of playing all kind of sports. And he never really he's like now he's shorter than me still. But he showed like I pick up like things like heart from him, what I meant to take things to another level. Um, what kind of work ethic, what kind of grit it took, like never die mentality, you know, that kind of way. And then
He's a good. Sorry to say, he's a good man. We should have an interview because I would have
and
loved to hear
then
Raheem's story. But go ahead.
I say Ricky Martin, man, like I think Ricky was probably one of the best things I ever see that God I put in front of me, like with my own two eyes. I've never seen a shot shot with that much range. I've never seen a shot shot with that kind of rifle. I've never seen a man that used to switch hit and just decide to hell with it. I go back lefty and still dominate. Like
Wow.
he used to do that for fun. I've seen Ricky just for fun doing a game. A lefty. Yeah, you batted right today. Nah, I go back left, boy. I mean, what you doing back right? Cool. I just show you such and such, bam. You know how calm he is. Come up, bam, double in the gap after a lefty. Like, how do you do it?
That's
You
crazy.
know,
Crazy,
so
man.
for me,
Talented,
like,
man. Talented.
I think like hands down, like with my own two eyes, I think he was probably one of the best, if not the best ball player I've ever seen. You know, people might rate me and say, sorry, you over this and that, but for what I see, I thought Ricky Martin was the best.
Where is he? You ever stay in contact with him?
Yeah, Ricky someplace, and I think Ohio or something like that. We'd talk from time to time. I ain't talked to him since last month. But yeah, he's still the same, quiet, nonchalant, Ricky Martin.
I would love to interview him. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would so love to have his interview.
We try our best to try to get him, man. We'll try to
What?
make that happen.
Like Tegan said, I didn't know that a man used to like still play baseball because like I've seen him dribble through people. Like Ricky had like some exceptional handles. Like he could have
Yes.
keep the ball so low to the ground and still
Smooth.
cut through and make a pass, and they were like, how? And he would be the kind of man like you thought he had dribbles. When you look now, Ricky don't get a ball from him. Like Ricky hand-eye coordination was very, very exceptional. Like you can't take that away from him. And then like
Yeah.
he could have jumped. Like he could have dunked on a 10-foot rim like it was nothing. So when I met him playing baseball, like he just blew me away. Cause he was a man that ain't pick up ball in so long. But he also told me like just because of what we're doing and what we're about, like I kind of provide some kind of inspiration for him to come back to the baseball field. And he didn't play ball so long.
Wow, it's crazy. That would be great. Give me a top 5 major leagues, and we also have another question. They want your top 5 volleyball too.
Yeah.
Major leaguers. Let me go major league first. Major league volleyball. Major league baseball. I would say my all-time greatest, hands down. I don't care who want to argue with me. From now till then, Kingdom come, ain't nobody better than Ken Griffey Jr. None. A steroid era, no steroid era, like Griffey was the man, regardless of what.
Man.
I did love some Barry Bonds, but I don't think he'll make the list. Don't get me wrong, Bonds was a hell of a player even before the steroids. Cause he went my conference. He used to play Pittsburgh, so I had to go up against him every year with Atlanta, with Andy Van Slyke and Bell and the whole crew, you know.
Yeah.
But
some good games.
As far as Major League, like he's number one. Oh boy, it's rough to say. I mean, I'll have to put like for me, I used to like Greg Maddox for sure. I've never seen a pitcher move a ball like how Greg Maddox will move a ball.
Legend.
I love Pudge, but right now I think Pudge gotta take a back seat to Yadi. Yadi and Molina. Ain't nobody to pick a ball out of the ground. Ain't nobody to control a pitching staff. Ain't nobody could pick a man off a base and get a quick kind of release that Yadi have. Out of all the Molina brothers, like, yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, he is
the best.
How much is that? 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my other favorite baseball players too, from here. I mean, she gotta be on the list is Lynn. You wouldn't believe it. She's one of my favorites. Like
Lynn.
I used to play.
Big up to Lynn, yeah.
You know, governmental is a co-ed sport. So most of the time you have your ladies playing in female positions. I just let Lynn play center field and I flank Lynn. Like Lynn could have played a man position. Like Lynn was that good.
She's a
So
brutal.
Yeah.
I have to shout out Lynn.
Yeah. Big up to Lynn. Big up.
How much major leaguers is three?
Yeah, you're true.
I'd say Elrod Hendricks, you know what I'm saying? And basically because he was like a pioneer, you know. Not that I was iffy about ball, but I remember Elrod Hendricks came here when I was like probably 10 or 11, and he had a camp. And I think that was the first real time I felt like I met a superstar, you know. He was part of the Baltimore Orioles organization. He brought some people with him. He looked official. Like, he was kind of like the stability to say, I'm gonna stay with this thing, you know. Because this a man from here, he made it, you know. He did something. So I consider him on a major league level. And people might not agree with me, but I gotta say Manny Ramirez.
Oh man, that's a
Crazy
good
Manny,
pick, man.
I
bad
love Manny.
good Manny.
Me too.
Like
Man is a
if I
madman. I love it.
if I have a man on base and I need a RBI, I need a run driven in. Like that's what he used to pay Manny for. He was damn good at it for years. Like for years. One of the best defensive player, but he could have hit the ball.
Could have hit. One of the best hitters.
Yeah.
One of the best for real. Nice
So
try,
Bobby
man.
Ball, Mark Donald, Mark
Bobby
is
Ball.
after this all night.
Yeah.
So you
Bobby
it look
Ball.
like you gotta call Mark in this thing before Mark get mad.
Yeah.
Nah.
Big up to Mark.
Can't get mad. Mark, you know for sure Mark can't think he might have five. But I mean, he's a volleyball player.
Yeah,
But,
big up to Mark, man. Big
in
up.
my top 5, man, I wish I could make it like a top 10 because like I get Girali, I get Lossie, I get Andy. Like them dude were like there was something for me because we played volleyball here in St. Thomas. We were on a level, you know. Don't get me wrong, you know. But when I met those guys, I know that I could have been taken to another level. And they always like, we were always friends. Even though we had like that itching to kick each other ass on the court, like we were always friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We always were like, we would call each other through high school, through afterward, we played at junior nationals together. So they were always like up there with my like top volleyball players, you know. A man that taught me a lot was Michael Richardson, you know. Shout out to Strikers, he's on my league volleyball team here. He basically took me under the wing, taught me a lot of nuances. We took a team to Man League, which was basically a high school team, except for Mike and this old other guy, and we ran second in the league. Like we were contending for championship. So I had a lot of good teammates. Elridge Blake, the same Elridge Blake who did talk about playing baseball, hell of a hit and everything. Elridge Blake was a hell of a volleyball player too. Like, I used to want him to lose because he was playing against some of the teams, you know, I would cheer against him. But the knowledge, the know-how, the leadership, you know, like how you're on a court and you might be a leader, but you still don't know how to bring the 100% out of everybody on your team. He was one of those. He know how to walk the game. He know how to walk the sweet science of, okay, like for instance, you ever been in a game and you know talent-wise you might be overmatched?
Yeah.
But you know how to just get the psyche of another team, another player, and that's where the game is won or lost. And he taught me that just by watching him. Sometimes I watch teams I know could beat him, you know, but because of that psyche, that sometimes you can't a little time in between plays, or you giving a man a look, or you make a comment knowing you're getting under his skin. Like, yeah, you know, he kind of taught me that. My mother was a hell of a volleyball player. Like, I used to watch her play. I used to be running up and down the gym. She used to be like, "Oh, you didn't even see my game, this and that." But then I could come and tell her, "Yeah, you do this or you do that." She's like, "Oh, yeah." You know, I mean, my mother was such an athlete, right, Tegan, right, that, and Mumba, right, that I thought I was like 15 years old, 14. That was fast, real fast. And we were on the track probably I warming up for some game, or my mother warming up for a game, or something like that. So, and we were high school track, and I was like, yeah, he's the fastest in his family. Well, you know, footways break out. Me, my father, my mother, my sister. I had thinking I gonna be number one. I beat my father, I beat my sister, and my mother just run the brakes off of me, bro.
She took you out. Oh my God.
I'm not
That is
taking
a
no
story.
40,
That one is
45.
top level story, Mumba.
Yeah,
Big up
man,
to
she just
moms,
run the
man.
brakes off of me, man.
Wow.
And she would always show off and tell me, I was a track athlete and stuff like that, you know. But I couldn't, you know.
She had to teach you a
But you know how
lesson.
parents is. After I felt I was fast enough and I wanted to challenge her again, you know, they refused.
She ain't want to run you again ever.
No, she's smart. She's smart.
Yeah, that's how you gotta do it. That's how you gotta do it. And I understand it now because the same way my kids, like, the minute I think they're gonna beat me, I start playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
You
can
know your
walk out with no
lesson.
winner.
You know your lesson.
And then one more. Let me see who was a good value rapper. There was this guy, I would say older guy named Sean Lachlan or something like that. From St. Kitts.
Okay.
Wasn't tall, wasn't the fastest. I consider him like the Larry Bird of volleyball. Slow, don't look like much. Underestimate him, you're gonna be considering it a L.
Wow. He
He
dominated you.
just had knowledge of
Just
the
like
game, where people need to be on the court, what to do, you know, playing mind games. I mean, I always had to play any mind game with me, cause I was just determined. You know, ain't gonna get me out no game, none. I was just flat out determined and winning. If I gotta bring my troops with me and pick up a guy who down or whatever it is, like we going for it.
Big time. Big time.
And my sister, she I've seen her do some stuff that I didn't think that she was capable of. Like you would believe that. I think I say like Jana's 12th grade year and in college, Jana could literally jump a hole onto a 10-foot rim, two hands.
Wow.
Crazy. You definitely need to get Shian.
She could do that for fun.
Yeah, we will get her on.
You need to get Shian because
She has agreed. She has agreed already. So
I have two questions for her. Lights, and did you really hold on to a 10-foot rim? Those are my two questions. She made a problem.
oh my gosh.
It's crazy, man. Man, what an awesome story. It don't even feel like we're there here for 3 hours. I mean, you really inspire us tonight.
Definitely inspire us, man.
Really enjoy this one.
Just look up any time too.
Yeah, man. Amazing, man. Amazing, man. Not a lot of knowledge, man.
I mean, one more thing is like, I mean, I have so many like teammates. I mean, I hope nobody feel like left out, no nothing, because I like Mark say he asked a question like how many teams I played for and stuff. Like I've had so many teammates from Little League to BD basketball to junior volleyball to summer league volleyball to national teams to double A's, stateside teams, college teams. Like I had so many teammates, and I'm grateful for all of them. Like I'm grateful for every last one of them. Like the different experiences, the different trips we went on. Neg, Young,
Big up, yeah.
yeah, I've been on trips with these man here. Pico, I've been on a trip with Rudolph. Yeah, up to this day, like I like when I go on Memorial Day, I see Pico up there for Memorial Day. Cause I got like a slingshot tournament that I go to for softball. Coaches that coach me, like I'm grateful for all of them. You know, the tough love. Some might have not been the ideal coaches, but like you say, you live, you learn, you move forward, and it's just like it's not how you get beat up and stuff like that, and it's how you could pick up and keep fighting. You know,
Awesome, man.
That's what they taught me. But they taught me a lot.
Beautiful, man. Great story. I know Pang wish he would have been on this here.
Yeah, he should, yeah.
Man, And for me, with my partnership, man, I'm super proud of you. Like really proud. That's one thing with me. I like to see other people succeed, man. I love to hear these stories because it just let me know like it's a lot of other people out there need that recognition, just like yourself. And man, your story actually can inspire more people in terms of the route you take, the failures, whatever, the opportunities you gotta do here, baby. But you have never made any situation becomes a failure in your life, and you have turned your life into a success. That's why I'm so proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, St. Thomas is in extremely great hands. Definitely, once this COVID subside, you definitely will be hearing from me. I see you drinking some of that greenie. That is some of my favorite too.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
definitely
I live there.
doing.
Okay.
Don't worry about
Hey
that.
man, I
We gonna
gotta
knock
tell
it
you
down when I
I
come
gotta tell
over.
you
We gonna knock
thank
it
you
down.
very much. I gotta tell you thank you very much because I mean I still got a lot of work to do as far as I feel like with me putting forward to the community and still I have a lot more to do and help. But I telling y'all thanks because this is the first time anybody has I guess thought of this whole process and having a conversation, honoring whatever and thank you very much, gentlemen. Just to know that, I mean, I come after you all, and at least you all know about me, just like how I know about the guys who came before me and stuff like that. So,
Awesome.
I'm honored. I'm very honored.
Awesome.
No, man. Hey, man. I appreciate everything you have done for me, man. I appreciate, us competing against each other in multiple sports, man. And you are one of the greatest athletes in Virginia history, man. Honestly, honestly. And a lot of people said it in the chat, and you definitely should be appreciated. You definitely should be recognized. You definitely should continue to be honored, man. Your parents did a good job, man. Shout out to your parents, shout out to your sister as well, too. You know, the kids them you coaching is in good hands. And hopefully a lot of kids could watch this interview because you drop a lot of knowledge, you drop a lot of gems. I learn a lot from you, and that's like Tegan said, it's always a pleasure interviewing so many different people. I learned so much, just your mindset and your approach and the way how you word some stuff. It made me think about it and realize, like, man, you're right. So it's been an honor, man. You know, it, you definitely should be honored, man. You definitely need to be honored. Like
Yep.
it's
Yep.
amazing. You one of the greatest athletes, man. 5 sports and you could have definitely make it in baseball, man. You one of the best pitchers. You're one of the best pitchers I witnessed, man. And getting to play with you and really seeing you in action and catching you and everything, man. You had all the tools, man. You had the arm, you had everything, man. So things don't always work out the way we wanted to work out, but I think the journey you took is a reason why you took that journey because you coach it, you give it back to the youths, and you making a lot of sacrifices, man. And the kids them is in good hands, man. They're
Facts.
definitely in good hands, man. So I really appreciate you, man. The same way how you appreciate us, we appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you, man. Much love to you, brother.
That's love.
Definitely.
That's love, Mumba.
All right,
Well
Yeah,
said.
gentlemen.
man.
Man. Thanks a lot, man.
Be safe,
Yeah,
man.
man.
But
I
hey,
wish
like
you
Mumba say one thing,
be safe.
Mumba say right there. A lot of people, if you didn't like probably come to this interview because I've been playing softball and baseball since I basically came up for so many years. Like people only associate that I know about the sport of baseball slash softball, not realizing that I played 4 other sports. Outside of that, I was really good at it. So I mean, it's kind of glad to have a little bit of acknowledgement that people realize that I was trying to do something back in the days.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
And you work hard, man. You deserve it. You deserve it. Oh, quick shout out to everybody that tuned in to support Levron Sarauw. Everybody tuning in, everybody asking the questions. We appreciate you guys, your guys' input and shouting out all the names and some of the historic Virgin Island athletes and stuff like that. We appreciate you guys always helping us out and supporting us. And you guys asked some really amazing questions, some great questions that created a lot of good dialogue among the three of us and among the four of us when Pang was on too. So I appreciate you guys tuning in and supporting, one of the greatest athletes in Virgin Island history. So appreciate you guys and all the support. You know, once again, shout out to your parents, my brother. Shout out to your parents for producing a historic athlete. You know, so until the day I die, I'm always giving you your flowers. You already know how we stay, my brother, man. You know how
That's
it
right.
is. Yeah, man.
Ladies and
Honestly.
gentlemen, man, give thanks. Y'all enjoy your night, man.
You
Yeah,
too,
man. You
brother.
too, man.
Stay safe.